Customization. Okay. Should be live. Let me just double check here. Let's hang out here really quick. I need to fix my headset. Adrian, what's up, dude? Oh, I need to go back here. Oh, I gotta fix chat. Give me 1 second, people, then we'll get going. All right, let's see if that fixes it. All right, there we go. What's up, Adro? Okay, Veve making actual moves, yeah. Now they're doing some app updates, so I'm excited. What's up, Adrian? Pasternak always here. Always got to say that nicely done, or else Pasternak will never show up. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the. It was interesting. They said it was like an OMI update, but there was a lot of, you know, there were some OMI updates, but there was definitely a lot of like just general Veve updates as well as app updates. A little bit of talk about DesignerCon and the Veveverse and a few other things too. So yeah, I'm excited for all those things coming up here. Music isn't too loud, right? It should be pretty low. If it is, let me know. But yeah, in a little bit, we'll check out the market first really quick, and we'll let people kind of trickle in, and then we'll probably watch the video. I've already skipped ahead a bit. I would say the first like 10 to 12 minutes of the video was mostly talking about their experience at, you know, San Diego Comic-Con, which is fun. I mean, if you want to check it out, you can yourself. But I mostly want to watch the parts of the video where they do talk about, you know, app updates, things like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is the one I thought I got rid of this song off this list. Oh well. Yeah. Cool. All right. Hat Moon, what's up, dude? I know you've been bothering me about when's my next stream. So when the market moves, when Veve makes an update, I'll make a stream. I'd say those are the only times I want to do a stream, but just in general. Pixel Trader, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. I bet you're excited about some of these app updates and stuff too. I'm excited. I already know. I want to rewatch the video because there's already a couple of notes I've like taken. I mean, the big one is like there's going to be an in-app chat feature, which I'm not sure what that's going to look like. So I'm really excited about that. Apparently you can make like chat groups and stuff like that. I just really hope this is available on PC. I feel like me being on PC and being a PC gamer and just doing everything on PC, because I like using the phone app for certain things, but just being able to navigate, type, do everything like 5 times faster on PC. I do feel like there are some features lacking on the PC side of things for Veve. So hopefully we can still do the chat feature on PC, on Veve. If not, I mean, it is what it is, but I really hope it's on PC too. By the way, why was Buzz not FA? Wasn't the other Buzz not the OG one? I guess it's still technically Buzz Lightyear. It's like the same, I feel like it's almost like the same difference between Steamboat Willie and like Mickey Mouse. It's like, well, Steamboat Willie is like the initial version or like the prequel to Mickey, so it's like the same thing, I guess. But no, I mean the other Buzz Lightyear is still Buzz Lightyear. It's not like Buzz Jr. or Buck Lightyear or something like that. It's the same Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, when I do the search, it's yeah, I'm Buzz Lightyear. I'm always sure. Dude, I can't believe this dropped. So August. Dude, can you guys believe this drop? There's no way. Dude, this drop was 3 years ago. June 2022. Isn't that wild? Dude, I can't believe this Buzz Lightyear drop was 3 years ago. I remember, I almost feel like I remember when this dropped. And people were like, yay, we're getting Buzz, but it's not like the OG and, you know, whatever. And I remember that, like, big sign that came with it, too, and stuff, so. Yeah, right, I was confused, though. Yeah, he looks different. Like, it's a slightly more realistic-looking version or whatever of it, but... Oh, I meant to put these up. I need to, I do want to do something with these, like, animated things on the side. And do something for my Vibe Tribe members. But it takes a long time to do all this stuff. With, Adobe After Effects and everything like that. But I'll have these guys running on the side until we play the video. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix them. This headset is bothering me. I'm gonna see if I can fix this thing. Don't know if this is gonna help, but oh, much better. There we go. Nice. After Effects, that's great. Yeah, I still have like less than like 10 hours messing with it, and I feel like 9 of those hours I was just watching YouTube videos on like how to do certain things. Like you can even tell with like the Bucky, there's certain points where it looks kind of clipped and stuff, and I'm sure there's other ways I can figure it out. I think I have some other ones too. Like I have Sentinel as well. I'd have to hide Miles, but I use something else for Sentinel. And I thought I had some. I thought I had another one too, but those are like the main ones. What are your thoughts on the CGC graded comic for CGC on blockchain at Future Grail? I don't even know about that. Is CGC doing like blockchain comics? Comic, NFT, blockchain. I'm Googling it right now. CGC comic NFTs, blockchain. This is my first time hearing about it, Pasternak, to be honest. Cul de Sac, it's on the app. Oh, is it? This one right here? Oh, is this the comic that's like the NFT one? Dude, why is it so cheap? Was this like a free comic or like a... Oh, it's off the... It's off the Green Veve website. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, unless something is FA, a Grail, low mint, something like pretty important, I haven't paid too close attention to it, to be honest. Doctor Strange, what's up, dude? 4th? Is it coming out September 4th? Is that what you mean by the 4th? The airdrop with the spike through it? You know what? I saw that. Is it on the homepage here? Yeah, right here. Okay, so this is the one. So it's going for 100 gems. This book is a vampire number. Okay, so this is the first CGC like blockchain comic, right? And they partnered with Veve, or is it like a separate one, or is this it? I mean, people are already flooring it for less than a hundo. Interesting. Nothing I noticed. Did they always have this? with like the details, like mint numbers, like everything is in like categories you have to click on to like expand. That's interesting. I feel like every time I do a stream, someone mentions something that happened on Veve or some like obscure thing that happened on another platform. They tell me about it. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm so focused. I'll be honest. I'm so focused on just buying, like, you know, either OG FAs or cheap comics that are FA and stuff like that. That I'm kind of, I probably should pay more attention to the drops and stuff like that, but it's cool. CGC is on the app, but I don't see it as a grail, not financial advice. It's one of those things where it might be like historically relevant. I mean, maybe people that are into CGC comic collecting that also happen to be on Veve might value it, right? But if people don't really collect CGC comics or just comics physicals in general, you know, it's kind of similar to like stamps, right? Like people that like stamps that happen to be on Veve might buy stamps, or at least pay a premium for it. But if people don't really collect physical comics or don't care about CGC, or maybe they like another thing, is it like historically and like culturally relevant? Maybe, probably, but is it a grail? I don't know. I feel like that term kind of gets thrown around a bit loosely. I've been thinking about making a video talking about grails, blue chips, things like that. I feel like grails are reserved for things that are like really out of reach, or it's like it's one of those things where it's like within the next few years could very easily be out of reach, where it's, you know, we're talking like high hundreds of gems, maybe thousands of gems, type thing. It's new today. Okay. Yeah, I thought this looked new. Okay, so it got released today and it's already under 100 gems. Yeah, a lot of listings here. We'll see. Actually, can I look this up on... Sometimes airdrops get a bit wonky on... Sometimes airdrops get a little wonky on Stacker. Let's see if there's any confirmed sales. All right, looks like there's been probably about a dozen sales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so there's been about 15 sales. Yesterday and today, around anywhere between 95 and 115. So it's pretty good. And there's actually a handful of people that do have a stack of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people that have 4 or more. There might be a few more with 4. That's it? Okay. How many total are there? All right, I got to do this. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? Oh, I went too far forward. That's why I'm like, what is all this? Wrong quick mind. So how many total are there? Editions. 240. That's a decent amount. I mean, there are secret rares with less editions than that, like normal secret rare comics on Veve. I mean, it's really cool. It's just first edition available, number 6. Golden Con, number 1 a deal, a CGC graded ultra limited. Okay, and I guess the appeal of it is the fact that it says CGC graded 9.8 on it, right? That it looks like a sealed graded copy of the comic. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they don't come back around and do a 9.8 and start grading, quote unquote, grading our, old comics, right? Or come back around and like, oh, now we have a Hulk 181, but here's a 9.8 version everyone should buy, right? CGC has been with Veve for a minute. Signatures are recognized, for example. This is the first CGC representation on chain. Huh. is a good point. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it. I think it's cool. It's just not necessarily for me personally. At least not for a hundo. Yeah, I wish it didn't have the bloody thing in the comic. Yeah, it's also, I mean, is it at 9.8 now that there's a stake driven through it and there's like blood coming out and stuff? I wish I could view this comic in 3D and like look at it from all angles. That would be cool. Yo, what's good vibes? I picked up the SR David Yu yesterday. Excited about the recent updates and new IP coming. Yeah, the new IP will be interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think the new IP is going to be? A lot of people think it's like Roblox, but I don't know. I feel like part of it, I mean, if it is Roblox, I mean, they've had some allegations recently, which I don't want to even remotely touch or dig into, but I doubt it's even that. But they did say it's gaming, so we'll see what's going on. VV Wheels, what's good? Yo, yo, yo. Just looking at this 9.8 with the stake through it. Hi, Vibes and VV fam. What's up? Big Oz. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you in here. Or if this is your first time, what's going on? They did make physical.com. Yeah, I figured there's a physical. I figure there's a physical, and this is the the digital counterpart to it with a like a stake through it and stuff. So yeah, see, it's listed right there next to all the Buzz Lightyears. Man, dude, this secret rare is going down to 75. This is down to 260. The glow in the dark Buzz Lightyear. Stormtrooper still hanging out around 10 gems. X-Men logo at 15. I guess people have been listing X-Men logos or undercutting. Ooh, that's a good point, Pixel Trader. Maybe Capcom, Sony, or Sega. We already have Capcom. It would be, I mean, I guess technically if they did like Street Fighter, it would be like technically a new IP. Like we have but haven't released yet. And I think that's kind of an interesting point to bring up, which is like, is it technically new if it's like an IP or a license we've already secured, but oh, this is the first drop, so it's like a new IP or like a new thing to VB. I would consider that. I think that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if they did Street Fighter or something like that. Sony or Sega would be sick. Tucson, what's going on? I keep stacking first appearance comics and collectibles. Same, JKRB. I will say, actually today, and I'm glad because someone told me, I did buy a, let me see here. There it is. I did buy a second Todd today. Bought it for $350. As someone listed it for like $350, and that was just in my range that I wanted to buy it for. So I actually do have 2 Todds now, which is exciting. Whoa. Yeah, I've always wanted to just... I've been trying to get 2 Todds for a little bit, or at least I've had to like liquidate a lot of different collectibles and stuff or things. Like, sometimes you just don't realize how many collectibles you've like really accumulated on VV until you start trying and sell them. I mean, it took me a few weeks to get up to like, because I mean, at one point I had like less than 100 gems, and to get up to even just 600 gems to make sure I had enough for like a Todd plus some other things I'm looking at. Yeah, it took me like a month to get enough to sell enough stuff. I had to like keep undercutting, keep relisting things, all that. So choo-choo. Yeah, exactly. Congrats on the Todd. Yeah. And that's something I've kind of learned about, funny enough, like last cycle, is whenever I had like a one of something and you want to sell it right, if you want to take profit, it's really hard to tell like when to sell it right. Cause when things are going parabolic or things are going up, like the hardest part is actually selling, in my opinion, right? It's going to feel bad when, I have this Venom here. Like I sell my one of Venom for I don't know, what's it worth now? I think it's like 200 gems, 166. Yeah. Let's say it goes up to like 500 gems and I sell it, and then all of a sudden it runs up to 800 and then 950 and then like 1100. I'm like, oh man, I just sold my event. I'm like way too early. But if you have multiples of something, you can kind of like DCA your way up. That's kind of why I've been focusing on comics more recently as well. I saw that Todd for 350. Nice pickup. Yeah. I mean, and if more Togs get listed for around 350 or even cheaper, I might pick up a third, sell a few other things, but Veve has their eyes on TCG. So I did see that too, which is exciting. Me personally, I would love, I mean, I know everyone wants sports, everyone wants Pokemon. I mean, I would love it if they got Magic the Gathering or like Yu-Gi-Oh, just because those are like the TCGs I'm familiar with. I never played them, but I've watched videos, I've watched friends play. Like I played it a little bit, but never like competitively or anything like that. And like those cards I have collected a little bit. Not so much Magic the Gathering, but I watched a lot of videos on it. So I would love to get that. But there is one called Blood and something. TC Flesh and Blood. Which is out of New Zealand, and it's a trading card game. So if I had to guess, it's probably Flesh and Blood. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. I'll show you guys really quick. This is I mean, it's out of New Zealand, which is where, you know, the company's based out of. And on top of that, when I did Google like top or most important or like popular trading card games, like this was like a top 5, like a top 6, maybe top 10 like trading card game. So looks pretty cool. Almost looks very Magic the Gathering-esque a little bit, at least like the art design and the way they do. I've never played the game. I've heard of it, but haven't really like looked up like the rule sets or what's popular or what's the OG cards or anything like that. Do we have enough people here to start the video, or should we just keep hanging out in the market? I've already kind of skipped ahead a little bit in the video where they kind of talk about San Diego Comic-Con. I do want to watch bits and pieces of the video to see if we kind of pick up on any new things that they mentioned. But if we do get some sort of trading card game, and it is going to be some sort of mainstream type card game or one that's like somewhat popular, it's probably that one if I had to guess. Though I would love any of the others like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, sports trading cards, whatever you want to call it, right? We have added a bunch more users. If so, prices may not go back to all-time lows. Have we added a bunch more users? I'm not sure. I know I need to get better about saving all these websites that people use to like track active users and things like that. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Ever since I don't know, like the last few Comic-Cons, I feel like we haven't had any more like newish users. I don't know. I feel like from what I've heard, I feel like it's typically been like single digit or like low double digits like most days. Like I'm not even sure when's the last time we had like a triple digit day of like new users like joining the platform. So I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening for Veve around the corner, right? The trading card stuff. Actually, let's go ahead and watch the video really quick. Collectibles. Just want to make sure there's no. Ooh, yeah, there was a partner statue for like 1,100, but I guess someone scooped that up. Interesting. All right. Skip that. Choo Choo, welcome to the Common Gang, dude. Thanks for joining the Vibe Tribe. Oh, yeah, I gotta turn these off. These little guys dancing on the side. Let me know if this is too loud or too low.
We do have a couple of other things working that is going to be rolled out very soon. And I can say that because they are actually done. I'm not just saying it's coming up.
By the way, so this is the Omi like update, or Veve, I guess, update video. This is like 60 minutes in. I feel like the first 15-ish minutes mostly talks about San Diego Comic-Con and a few other things, which is of course cool. You guys can check that out later. But I do want to jump. This is kind of where I'm starting, where they're kind of announcing new stuff for the app, or at least like the Veveverse.
Just a couple of small things. So number one, we've got a space portal. So the idea here is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it when people make giant spaces, but the idea with the space portals is that it means that you can drop a portal anywhere in your Veveverse space, and then you can allow the user to jump to any other one of your spaces. So it might mean that you can take your users on a journey from your car room, so your 12 car garage, to your Star Wars room, to your Marvel room, and just lead them on that journey. So I'm really excited for that to come out. We also have a new, well, actually, should I say it? No, you know what? Maybe I'll wait till we drop it. I won't
That's
give away.
That's probably for the best, Dan. It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys really quick. I'm gonna post it.
He's working on other things, though. Clearly.
Yes, 100%. Yep. And then on the mobile side of things, we are again doing a bit more optimization on the mobile platform. What's happened over the past sort of year or so is that our assets have got of considerably better quality. I mean, you guys can see this. If you stand a Batman Risso side by side with one of our later collectibles, the detail is huge, a huge gap between what we were doing and what we're doing now. So that has also led to larger files, more complex systems like the animation and the particle effects. So
go ahead and fill out that little poll I did. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Fantastic. We're talking about
so you're talking about more
fun again. A thing that I think's fun is being able to talk to people that collect and being able to interface with them.
This is huge.
In an easier way. And I think we've got an update that's...
It's a bit quiet. All right, I'll turn it up on my side. This should fix it.
Coming to the app, that's going to make that so much easier and so much better. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, exactly. One of the commitments, from my side is, coming back to founder-led, like I mentioned, is really just making sure that, the Veve product continues to get better and better. So what you're referring to, Corey, is we are launching in-app chat. This is a really cool feature. It means that you guys can now, you don't have to go off to any other platform to, say, will you sell this for this gem or that gem, or you're now going to be able to communicate with each other directly.
Okay, actually, I did not look at this because I was just listening it through my earphones when I was like out on a walk or whatever when they first announced this. But yeah, there's going to be like a chat feature. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, it doesn't, it looks pretty much the same. There's a little chat option there. I know my camera's covering it. But yeah, I guess there's going to be a straight up like chat feature. You can just talk with other people. You can even make groups too. I'm not sure if you can name them, but yeah, it looks like you can make group chats. It's going to be cool with like logo groups and things like that. Certain community of collectors, people that get independent artists, like whatever it is. So yeah, this will be really cool. Instead of always having to like go to like X or Discord, things like that. Now you can actually just chat with people directly on the app, which makes it infinitely easier. I remember back in the day, like chatting people on the Veve feed, like, hey, lower your price by like 5 gems and I'll buy it. And 99% of the times they would never see it. But through here, yeah, it'd make it much easier
within the app itself. And
pictures too.
The chat feature has a lot of really cool features in it. You can create groups. You can send all of your gifts. You can send all the links to your products. And just have a good old chat about collectibles directly within the app. So for us, it's just a way to create a bridge between our users. At the moment, I see it all the time. People, they tag each other on the feed to say, can we do this deal or can we do that deal, or show me this, show me that. So now we're bringing that experience directly to you. And the great thing, Corey, is that this is actually ready. In fact, it should be rolling out today.
Yeah,
today. Is there? I'm gonna check right now. Is there a Veve update on the app right now? I'm gonna check. I haven't even looked, but if there is, I feel like there would be one. Okay, there's no update, but maybe we'll get one here in the near future. But yeah, in-app chatting is actually really cool. Makes it infinitely easier to chat with people in the app. It makes it a bit more immersive instead of like switching back and forth between X or Twitter and then Veve and all that kind of stuff. Even though I do think there probably won't be as many features and stuff like that on that app compared to, you know, other chat features or other platforms, but it's a start and I think it's super cool. So I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out.
Absolutely right. So if you're watching this video on the day that it releases, there's going to be a whole bunch of information that's releasing via our blog, our socials, app updates themselves. You're going to need to be doing updates, but just stay tuned to our socials. You're going to get all the information you need. But David, how are you feeling about this? We know how chatty you are. You can't not respond to an email that gets sent to you by any fan. So what are you going to do with in-app chat? I mean, how are you going to find time to work, David?
Yeah, I mean, this is well overdue for us as a feature. You know, we find and Dan's
a week or two
about let's making Veve
maybe
this is a major steps that we be rolling out. You see many other social media apps out there have these type of feature where you can connect with one another. You know, when we first built Veve,
You guys think there's any Easter eggs in the background? Maybe that Terminator head, is that always there? The skull? Do you guys think, David, are you still doing Easter eggs in the background or not anymore?
hoping that
Maybe
the photos and the pictures that you post with the AR characters will talk to you. And the fact that it's done beyond that, it has connected people in the community who live far away, and they now share the similar interest and hobby. And now this in-app chat will take it to the next level. It will build that closer connection. So I'm really looking forward to that. And like I say, it's taking a while, and this should have been rolled out much earlier. But we're getting on top of things, and I really want to thank our audience and community out there to give us time for us to pull and roll these out. Whenever it comes to,
I will say, if they really want to like level up the chat experience, and I think there's different variations. I mean, all this stuff's on the blockchain, right, and or the app, which is if there is a way you can set up the chat or like a group chat to either auto invite or auto kick people that don't have certain collectibles or sets or something like that. Like, it'd be super cool if there was like a Todd chat group or whatever, or a Spider-Man or a whatever, chat group you want, or independent artist. And if you have the collectible, you're either automatically invited to it or you auto join or whatever it is. I mean, you can leave or do whatever. But also too, if you like sell it or if you sold like your last copy, you're kind of just like auto kick from the group or whatever. I mean, that would be kind of cool too. I mean, that's just, I feel like a toggle or a feature you could just enable with the chat group thing if you want. Not every chat group needs to have some sort of restriction, but if you want to enable it, I think that'd be kind of cool. Because right now it seems like with most either like groups like the Marvel logo group, I don't know if that's still a thing, or some other groups and stuff like that, you always have to keep track of it like almost manually yourself, and some people might not have the collectible anymore yet, they're still in your chat group and this and that. So we'll see. Unreleased Matt Gondek back there behind David Yu
in app.
Let's go back a little bit. Oh, the Bart looks like a Godzilla Bart Simpson hybrid thing. Like his arms and chest look like Godzilla, and his mouth looks like Homer's, but everything else is just, I don't know.
Thanks, Sam.
It's interesting.
I enroll the photos, share collectibles, show off the things that you want to sell. I think we're also making that a little bit better, being able to display our collectibles in a brand new way. So talk to me a little bit about that update that's coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is something that I'm a big advocate of. Obviously David and I are huge collectors. I'm always on collecting websites, and with Veve version 2.
Dude, he loves this. He's licking his lips. He's all about it.
In my opinion, there were a couple of things missing from it that I really want to correct, and this is one of my objectives as soon as we came in, is more founder led. So number one, it's just making sure we have all the basics in place. Like when you view a collectible, now you're going to see 10 plus images. Actually, what? Maybe I won't promise 10, Corey, because I know that's going to put your team under pressure. There's going to be multiple.
We got
images.
this, Dan. We got this.
Yeah.
Promise
Multiple-
away.
Exactly. Multiple images for all collectibles. We want to make sure that all of the amazing video content that Corey and his team are there directly on the collectible page. That includes AR videos, the reveal videos. It's just so, when you or a new collector comes to the page, they're getting to see the collectible in all the beautiful detail. And again, it's just a way for people to get more closer to that collectible and really to be able to see the detail of what it is, because our production team, they put a lot of work and a lot of effort into these collectibles. So as number one, it's about showing them off. Secondly, is that we're bringing all of the information that we would typically post on the blog all onto that product page. So now when you go to the product page, you'll be able to see what is the first mint. Is there any burning? How many are remaining? All of that information that is typically in a side blog is now all going to be in that one page. So,
dude, thank God. I don't know if I'm not even claiming credit for this, but I remember when I made that video, I don't know if it was a live stream or a video or whatever, like months back, talking about, I'm like, dude, it's so hard to find information on these. I'm like, is this collectible like even animated? Like, what's the first mint? Like, how many got burned? Like, I feel like I'm like chasing blog articles from like 4.5 months ago, like through X to like find information, because it's like not on the home, like the page. Like, and I'm glad they're bringing some of this back, because if you look at, and I think this is the example I made, like if you look up Juggernaut on here, you go to this page, it's like, all right, we got a video on it that not every collectible needs this, but if there is a video talking about it, like a behind the scenes thing, like this is cool. I'm glad they expanded some of this stuff so you can see all the first mint. So this is probably the update they're talking about. A lot of this, like how many got burned, first mint, last mint, daily. Ooh, they got daily MCP points here, the market fee, list price, what season it's from. Yeah, this is all just like good stuff. I don't know. I'd rather have all this information here than trying to chase like X posts and stuff. And I'm trying to remember, there's like another page, another collectible or like comic. I'm trying to think about too as well. I think they did the same thing with like the Juggernaut comic. Where is it? Well, we'll go back to the video in a second. But yeah, like all this information is good. And same thing with the fact that, like, I don't know, I don't know if they mentioned it in the video. We'll keep watching, but I really hope they bring back the like animated tags. Also, even just the capability of like looking at the collectible in 3D on PC, like that would be very helpful too. Because I know the majority of people are on, their phones on Veve, and you're always gonna have your phone on you. Dude, why is it so hard to find? And dude, this is the other thing too. I really hope. Because this all says like Weapon X, Weapon X, Weapon X. Like I don't even know what number this is. Weapon X-Men Forever, Exceptional X-Men. Like it doesn't have the number next to it. Like what issue it is. Sometimes the market and some of these things are a bit hard to read. What I'm on here, like I don't even know what X-Men this is until I click on it. Okay, X-Men 27. If I put a space after it, maybe it'll just do the... Is it just doing all X-Men? Yeah, I don't know. The search function's a little wonky right now, so something's going on. We'll go back to the video.
You're going to have all of the information at your fingertips, beautiful images, beautiful videos. So we've got everything in that one spot rather than having it sort of fragmented.
Absolutely. And a big part of wanting to make Veve fun again is it means you open up the app and all the things you need to have fun are there, right? All that information you just talked about, lots of beautiful images, the video, all on one page. You're not opening up a blog and then checking a Twitter.
Or a link to the blog or something.
You just go to one place. And if you want to talk to people about it, you don't even have to leave. You can just send the message right there. So it's going to be really great for our content creators, and it's going to be great for our general collectors too. But we can add all these images and we can add all these videos and we can add all this information, but people can't find things on the app. That's a problem. So talk to me a little bit about search functionality, Dan.
Yes. So this is another update that I've been really passionate about. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. The search on Veve is, well, you know,
We're still searching for it.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
like-
I'm looking for the word to describe the search. Yeah. So it has never been. It has never really been that great. So one of the other missions.
It's never been that great. I know there's some parts that are good, but
because you know when
could
we
be
do
better.
Our you know Veve fam surveys, search is always one of the. I'm going to say the most hated thing in the
I
product
agree.
because, as you say, Corey, you know, we need our users to be able to find products and new users coming in to be able to easily find what they want. Seems very simple, 101. But what I am glad to say is that we have done a full refresh of the search. We'll search for much wider keywords. It has fuzzy logic if anybody's interested in any of that kind of stuff. And just keep in mind, this is the first phase of the search revamp. It already has a lot of features. You know, you can add all your filters in. So I'm really excited for this to come out. And then we're going to be continuing to iterate on that. So, you know, by this time next month, we should have other features in there like autocomplete and such. So, I mean, but the great thing is, Corey, is that all of this stuff is done. We're not talking about this is coming, hashtag soon, hashtag what. It's actually here, done, really like that. And that's the main commitment that, you know, at least from my side on the product is actually, you know, really getting this stuff delivered to you guys. So I hope, I hope you really enjoyed the in-app chat, the new product pages with all the information on them.
That's nice.
And the search. And there's a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline now. So get ready to have a lot of fun on Veve again.
Nice. So I'm trying to remember what's left in the rest of the video, but yeah, there's the search. I don't know. Maybe I need to like refresh this page or something like that. It seems like the search functionality. Maybe it's because of PC versus whatever. I mean, I'm typing in X-Men 12 and I'm getting Harley Quinn number 12 at the top of like the list. A lot of different search function, like a lot of different filters you can use, which is cool. Drop date. That's interesting. They kind of like a drop date option. I'm gonna say there's probably going to be days, if not a week or more, of just troubleshooting and them fixing and updating and tweaking like the search function. Like I said, I typed in X-Men 12 and I'm getting like Harley Quinn 12 and pretty much every X-Men comic that's on the platform except for 12. Like I'm just trying to find the, you know, FA Juggernaut one. And another thing I noticed too is that the search feature on your like collectibles page is like different than the search page you do on the market. I've noticed. I'm trying to find an example of a like this, for example. I'm curious to see if it'll do it. So like, see, I have two Stan Lee collectibles here. Like this one's actually called The Amazing Stan Lee, and this one is Stan Lee, but it's just called Excelsior. So if I type in Stan Lee here, I wonder if both will pop up. So just the one, right? So this is one thing I hope they fix is, you know, if I'm specifically looking for that Excelsior Stan Lee, I feel like I should be able to just type in Stan Lee rather than, okay, oh, it's not showing up. Okay, let me remember what the name of the collectible is. Same thing with like the Luke Skywalker. You know, it's not called Luke Skywalker. It's called like My Father Before Me, or these kind of like phrases or quotes that are from like the shows and stuff. I did sell, you know, if I type in Vader, it should pop up. I shouldn't have to remember to type in Emperor's Fist, right? So it seems like the search function in the collectible category is different than the search function up here. Because if I do Vader up here, it has no issue. Brands, users. Okay, I really hope they change this. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's a collectible here. Okay, so see, it has no issue pulling up all the Vaders that are available, but when I type in Vader in my collectible option, it doesn't show. I have to literally memorize the name of the collectible in order to pull it up. So that's kind of another feedback thing. The other feedback thing, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys can zoom in more. If I type in Juggernaut at the top, in my opinion, I think, and again, I still think the search feature, it's day one of the search feature. I'm not expecting anytime Veve rolls out new features. Like I'm not expecting nothing against Veve. It's just software troubleshooting, like all this stuff. Like I'm expecting expecting it to probably get messed up for the first like week or two. Like that's just kind of like how it is. So I'm never expecting these features. If it works perfectly, great. If not, but if I type in Juggernaut in the top right or Punisher or whatever, like in my opinion, I think it should show all the Juggernaut collectibles as well as the FA Juggernaut comic. Like, I mean, it says it in the description. Go to my collection. Here's the FA Juggernaut comic. Let me click on it if it'll load. I mean, it says it right here. The first appearance of the unstoppable Juggernaut. And Veve's done a very good job with all these descriptions where it says, the first appearance of a collectible. Like, I'm not sure why they can't pull that search term from the description. Because, I mean, not everyone's going to memorize exactly like, oh, the first appearance of Omega Red, the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, the first appearance of, all these different characters. Like, I don't memorize all the comic names, but I do remember, or the comic, what comic it came from or what edition or whatever. But I do remember the name of the character. So I really hopefully that's an option they can add where I could just type in the name of the character and it shows me all the collectible and like first apparent versions, that are available. But all right, let me catch up with chat. Why on the comic tomorrow drop they say sold editions and withheld? Let's check it out. Vision, this one. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I do like this. I mean, even though it says it here, common, uncommon, rare, withheld editions 261. What are you asking? Why on the terminals they say sold editions 81 withheld? Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I think this is day one of them rolling this stuff out. I'm sure part of the sold editions is within the withheld editions or whatever the deal is. Obviously, this isn't even out yet for another 16 hours, so I don't think people got like access to this early. Yeah, that's unusual. I mean, that's a good question to ask. Sold editions 81, 261. Yeah, I'm not too sure why that is. Dr. Strange says agreed. Yeah, I've noticed that the search bar for the market or just this general search bar is way different than the search bar in the collectibles. And that's actually one thing. I meant to make a video on this a while ago. When I went to the convention, I was doing like a bajillion AR photos and uploading them to X. I'm like, one thing I found, it was like very hard to find even my own collectibles. Like honestly, if you have more than 150 collectibles, I mean, at one point I did have like over 200. I've been selling a bunch that, I liked, but I wasn't necessarily in love with, or I was just in a small profit. Like there's a handful of collectibles I bought for 7 gems. And now they're being sold for like 12, and I would just like undercut to 11 and just sell it really quick, right? Sold tiny profit or break even for the most part. But it was so hard to find some of these like collectibles, like in my own collection. I have to memorize the name of all the collectibles and stuff like that. Most of the time, it's not too bad, right? Like Corey, my collectibles, Joker, like it's all there. But if for some of them, it can be kind of difficult. Yeah, there's a few other ones that it's not even like the name of the character. It's like a phrase or a quote or a line from like a movie. Like this, like these two. Perfect example. I have 2 Boba Fett's. This one's called On Guard, and this one's Ready for Action. I'm not going to always memorize the name of those. I should be able to just type in Boba Fett and it shows up, or Boba Fett. Yeah, Veve needs to improve the search feature. Yeah, I think, like I said, day one, this is getting rolled out. I hope they fix this because X-Men 12, what it should do is just populate X-Men comics that at least start with the number 12. I don't expect it to perfectly just grab the Juggernaut one, but again, it's it's pulling Harley Quinn and all these other search features. But all right.
And you said hashtag soon, you said hashtag what? The last one of these videos we released had quite a few comments, and almost all the comments were saying, not a word about Omi, when Omi news. David,
Mhm.
I think you have some Omi news for us. Talk
Yeah.
to us a
Of course, they're
little
gonna
bit
make
about
David say it.
what's going on with Omi
Yeah,
and how
well-
it's going to be getting a little bit more love moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. So early on, I announced, we're going to be taking Omi as a payment for the physical goods that
That's
you
cool.
can redeem. We understand the importance around that. People want more utility value.
Look up something.
And by the time this video's come out, we are proud to announce that Omi to Gem is part of the rollout, and then
cool.
we'll be announcing it through our social. And please read the blog, and then the newsletter that we're rolling out to understand how it will work. It's been a long time in the working. It's always been in our roadmap is how we bring more utility. And, when Omi first started, it was always going to be a way of payment for the Veve collectibles. And, we're just really bringing that aligned. And we found partners that will bring this live for us. So very exciting to see that. In months to come, you will see and hear a lot more about Omi, what we're doing. We're working with partners, what we can do with it. And, we definitely understand that the holders has been waiting for a long time to see more utility, and more will come as time reveal. But, I'm excited to announce that the Omi to Gem will be rolling out, and hopefully some of you will give it a try. And other parts of the Omi that we have achieved this quarter, many of you probably have seen Omi to Base wallet. And then recently we also announced that Omi on Binance wallet. And we're working very hard to build more partnership and more integrations, whether it's wallets or redemptions or utility or exchanges. All these are all continuously on the roadmap, and we're working ways to roll these out. So stay tuned. And yeah.
Omi is up about 3.6%. So obviously just off that, because I remember right when this video dropped, like within the first 10 minutes, and I think it was Pixel Trader or someone else that like posted talking about Omi utility or whatever, and I immediately looked over at Omi and it wasn't up at all. I think it was the same. It was still like still like 0.000 like 1.7 or like low 1.8 or something like that. But so it is up a little bit today based off that. But my question is, actually I was about to make another poll. All right, so this poll about like do you use the Veveverse actively, it looks like only 30% of you guys use it actively. But there was another poll I was going to do. I don't know. Do you guys think there's going to be... So Omi the Gem is going to be interesting because part of me thinks, all right, if there's no fee for Omi to Gem, then wouldn't people just do that? Because there is a 2% buyer fee for buying things off of Stacker. And in order to bypass that as a buyer, can't you just do Omi to Gem and then just like buy it off of Veve? I guess unless someone lists it for cheaper on Stacker. But sometimes, the Veve floors are cheaper than on Stacker, right? Or maybe there's only one listing on Stacker and there's, 40 on Veve. So part of me thinks like this Omi to Gem, I feel like there's got to be some sort of fee involved or something like that with doing it, whether it's 2% or 1% or whatever it is. I don't know. Do you guys think there's going to be a fee with Omi to Gem? Can I ask a question or put it in here? Or not Q. Is that a Q&A? No, that's not it. It's like start a Q&A. I don't want to start a Q&A. Start a poll. There it is. All right, I'll ask that question. I'm not sure how relevant or important it is, but I'm just kind of curious what people think if there's going to be like some sort of fee or whatever. Omi to Gem through secondary market. What do you mean, like through the app or on? I mean, technically, all your Omi is on Stacker. So I have a distinct feeling like it might happen on Stacker. There might be a button or something like that you press to like convert it into gems, and then like within a few minutes or maybe instantaneously, all of a sudden your gem balance gets to go up right away, right? If you want to convert Omi to gems. So I'm not sure if it's going to be on Stacker or if it's actually going to be on the app. or if there's going to be a fee or not. I'm kind of curious to see how that pans out.
I hope really everyone here in the community.
Because honestly, with like
this announcement.
with Omi to Gem, let me just double check. I'm not actually going to buy this, but I'm just kind of curious. Oh, I got to log in. Please don't that. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I'm too lazy to do it right now. I'm pretty sure there's a 2% fee for buying on Stacker, which isn't ideal because on Veve there's no buying fee. The fee is always on the seller side, which is 2.5 to 8.5% depending on the licensor. So that's what I mean. I'm like, if there's no fee for Omi to Gem and there's a cheaper price on Veve, or just even if the prices are even, like why don't people just do that and just kind of just bypass this whole 2% buyer fee thing?
And there will be, and I'm also working on other Omi utility exclusive drops.
Ooh, Omi exclusive drops.
Out how we're going to do those primary drops with your Omi tokens exclusively with Stacker. That's one. And we are also working on
Stacker.
Very cool digital product for the Omi holders. If you hold one of those Omi logos out there, we've got something exciting coming out as well. So we haven't forgotten about you. We basically
did he just hold on? I'm gonna replay that.
One of those very cool digital product for the Omi holders. If you hold one of those Omi logos out there, we've got something exciting coming out as well. So
what do you guys think he's talking about with the Omi logos? Or did he say logo or?
We haven't logos out holders. If you hold one of those Omi logos out there,
Okay. Do you guys think he's talking about this one? There's an Ecomi logo, and then there's this red logo. Also, why can't I click? Oh, that's weird. This little it says 0 in market, but I can it says I can't click on it, but then I can. This exclusive limited edition red logo was obtained by participants who earned 350 bronze tickets throughout Omi season 1. I'm curious, do you guys think he means any of these logos or maybe this logo? He just said Omi logo, and to be honest, there's 3 different logos technically. He said Omi logos. I mean, okay, so this is the Omi logo. This is the Omi like symbol, but technically aren't these all? I mean, they're all named Ecomi logo. I don't think. Yeah, dude, the search function's a little wonky today. That's fine. I didn't expect the new search feature and like market thing to launch to like work, but. I thought he said logos, all 3 logos. So you have to hold all 3 logos? Gary, what's up, dude? Hi from California. How's California treating you? Right now it is 105 over here where I live. Dude, it's super hard to go outside after like 8:30 or 9 p.m. because at that point it's already over 95 degrees, like close to 100 degrees where I live. Like if I'm gonna go outside and go for a walk and not get absolutely scorched, like I feel like I have to be out of the apartment by like 7:30, and that way by the time I end, it's not too hot. If I go out any later than that, it starts pushing like low triple digits, and it starts getting too hot to stay outside for too long. But thanks for stopping by, Gary. Yeah. So he said let's watch it one more time because there's 3 logos, right? And they're all different levels based off of how many bronze tickets you earned, from season 1.
We've got a whole one of on a very cool digital product for the Omi holders. If you hold one of those,
one of those. Okay, so he said one of those. So I'm not sure if it's going to be the same digital for all 3. Or based on which one you hold, you're going to get a different digital. I'm assuming, doing 3 different digitals would be pretty impressive and obviously cost a decent amount, but he did say one of, right?
Logos out there.
So just a thought.
We've got something exciting coming out as well.
Hey,
So
bro.
we haven't forgotten
Like
about you. We basically just trying to work out what's the best way to roll these things out.
Yeah.
Like everything as usual. We're working with multiple moving pieces and partnerships here at the office. And it's, you know, when it happens, we'll announce them. And I'm really looking forward to see you guys at these events to do the redemptions.
Right now, we're in sort of a bull run for a lot of tokens. And we see a lot of conversation in the community from a lot of people. Why doesn't Veve talk about OMI very much?
I will say, I don't know if you guys have seen Yan's video. Is it Yan? I forgot his name. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quick. There's an interview he did with Corey that was actually really good. We need more interviews with Corey. He's just very well spoken, and he knows how, like, he kind of knows what the community wants to hear and gives nuance and background and all that kind of stuff about drops and licensors and all the steps they kind of have to go through to release different products. Dude, I cannot. I was going to link it here. Dude, where is it? Oh, there it is. I forgot. The name of it's called Collectively. Here it is. I'm going to link it now. If you guys haven't checked out this interview, it's actually really good with him and Corey. And it's funny because he's actually the one that brings up to Corey, like, hey, like, is Veve preparing for the bull run? You know, what you guys are doing, this and that. And Corey had a pretty good answer about it. But I'm kind of curious if a lot of this was brought on because that interview. Because, I mean, the idea, I mean, the reason I'm bringing this up, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone at Veve that's worked there has said the term bull run, like, ever. Like, I don't think I've ever heard, you know, My Collectibles, David, Dan, whoever else works behind the scenes. I don't think I've ever heard them say the term, like, bull run before, you know, whether it's including Veve or crypto or whatever. So it just kind of rang a bell in my head, or kind of made a connection. So yeah, check out that interview. I just kind of mentioned it because it's like, this is almost like the first time like Veve's or someone from Veve's like directly made a connection to like Veve and like the actual state of like the crypto economy and just kind of like what's going on right now.
How important is OMI to us, and is it a thing that we're thinking about a lot?
Actually, let me catch up with chat really quick. There'll be a digital that we have to buy based with OMI. Corey's a rock star who does not get his stars. Yeah. I mean, I think he does. I think he's just very busy. But, I mean, he knows his stuff. And he's awesome. I mean, he works with all these licensors very closely. I could definitely see... I mean, right now he's putting in a lot of legwork. But in like 5 to 10 years, I could definitely see him being like the head of a department at Veve, having 5 other people do what he does right now, and he's just kind of like overseeing stuff and just like writing it off, and he can kind of just have fun and show up to more of these interviews, but just like more oversee things. So yeah, I mean, good on Corey. I mean, I do want to see more of him. Me and him actually talked on X a few weeks back. I was super busy this last few weeks, but hopefully we can have him on and we could just talk a little bit about Veve, but just talk, you know, nerd stuff in general, you know, not always about Veve and whatever. But oh wait, hold on, one more. Sub vibes, I may be late to the party, but I like the update with the comic collectible tabs on the app. Very detailed. Yeah, and actually that one other thing you just reminded me. I hope to God that they have this option in the search function. Like if you're looking at comics or whatever, like, I don't know. I really, really want a like golden age, bronze age, current age, like just whatever it is. Because I don't know, it does get pretty tiring, like doing searches on comic. And to be honest, like 99% of the comics that come out of the green website Veve that are more modern age, personally, I don't care about. Like I like Planet Death. I like some of the Marvel Rival like covers and some other like, all right, there's a small handful that I do like or that I do care about. But for the most part, like whenever I'm doing a search for comics on Veve, like I kind of only care about, because the really significant ones, you know, the historical ones are really only released on like the normal Veve app or website, right? So whenever I'm doing a search for comics and stuff, and sometimes my pages are just inundated with just a lot of like current comics, and I have to like keep scrolling down, or I just want to be able to like omit those ones if I'm able to, or at least if I just want to look for Golden Age comics or Silver, Bronze, you know, whatever it is, Copper Age. I don't know. Is Copper Age a thing? Maybe. I don't know. Either that or the comic collecting community needs to figure out more ages, because it sounds like Golden, Silver, and Bronze are all in like 15 to 20, 25 year stints, and then all of a sudden like the last like 45 years has all been considered like current. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, regardless, I really wish there was some sort of tab to kind of separate those and those aren't like, I mean, those are identifiables that like Marvel themselves have made, because I'm pretty sure, I thought it says on these, some of these comic pages, whether it says it's like Golden Age or maybe if I expand these really quick, I could have sworn maybe not. All right, maybe not. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a candy or something like that, where it's like a Golden, Silver Age, like whatever it is. But if they could add those features, that would be awesome. I agree. He's definitely a leader in the making. Yeah, I mean, if he keeps up the great work, he's going to be one of the big three, you know? I agree. They need to add another meta tag and allow us to filter by comic age. Yeah, I mean, some people love Bronze Age comics, you know, where it's like a Ghost Rider and things like that. I mean, it's, as of right now, they're kind of hard to find, or some people just like certain generations of comics, or allow us to set favorites and view by, yeah, dude, I would love the favorites tab. I'm surprised they don't have a favorites tab, or, because let's say you go to your collectibles, right, and you have a bunch of matching mint, like you, Guri, I know you have a bunch of 415 collectibles, right? Like that's your deal. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was like another tab within your collectibles that has all of your 415 marked or mint collectibles, and all you have to do in order to show people on your phone or whatever, all you have to do is click that tab and it shows all of your 415 mint stuff. Because I don't think this goes off of mint, right? 24, yeah, so it doesn't show it. So I'm kind of surprised that they don't have an option where you can have like separate folders, or you can save certain collectibles, right? Or it's like quote unquote my grails, right? So like my grails could be like Superman, and my collectibles, why not? You know, it's a grail to me. Like whatever I consider, however I want to organize my collectibles, and however many tabs and folders or whatever I want to do to make it easily accessible or to show people, you know, that would be nice. Or if I want to organize certain folders by IP, right? If I have all of my Adventure Time ones or all of my Season 1 collectibles in one thing, like, I mean, that would be awesome, you know, because as of right now, it's like I go to my collectibles tab, like on the app. It's hard to search for collectibles. It's hard to, you know, you can't search by mint number. You can't do certain things. And, you know, I don't know, for a collector's app, it does seem like there's a lot of missing features for collectors. That's all I'm saying. For a collector's app, it does seem like there's a lot of missing features for collectors. I just want a wish list for both comics and collectibles. I have a handful of things I watch on Veve and would love a custom page containing only what I like. Exactly. I don't know. There's about 8 different comics I'm keeping a very close eye on, and there's probably like 10 or 15 different collectibles. I like to just like literally like once or twice a day, I'll get on, I'll look at those, but I have to like manually type in, all right, X-Men 12, X-Men 5, X-Men 2, X-Men, and like look through the list and all that. Like I have to, you know, and of course the search feature isn't perfect. So I have to like kind of scroll down the list for a while, you know, click on yes, and then click on that. And then I don't know, it just adds a whole lot of extra steps. Yeah. Favorites tab or multiple favorites tab. I don't know why we can't have, you know, multiple favorites tabs where I can, you know, one tab for all my grails, another tab for all my unique mints, another tab for all my cool anime. Because like there are some collectibles that have really cool animations, but they're not a grail. They're not the cool, you know, whatever. But it's like there are some collectibles that look awesome that I could show off to new users, like the Spider-Man symbiote suit, awesome animation. Where's the other one? Where's the Iron Man? Like this Iron Man, like I would love to have a folder with like 5 or 6 different collectibles that look great in AR, and I can just click on that tab, quickly pull them up in AR, switch between them, and they can like see. Same thing with Astro Astro Boy is actually a great look, is a great animated collectible if you want to like show off to someone new, because it does like a backflip that has like a little water shooting animation, and then it stands there. It does all this cool stuff. So it's like, I feel like I should have like multiple folders I can use within my collection to like organize my collectibles and quickly pull them up to show people. Because like that was the other thing. Like when I was at the convention, I was talking to people and like doing a picture and then showing them. I had like less than 30 seconds to show them everything because they're trying to go somewhere or do something. I'm like searching through it. So I was like, it felt so weird because I would like follow behind, you know, these people in cosplay or whatever for like a full minute, or I'd pull up the app, search for, okay, it's not called that. Okay, it's called this collectible, and I'll search it. And okay, and then like preemptively get it ready in AR and then like say hi to them and then like take the picture really quickly. I don't know. I wish I was a product manager at Veve for a few months. There'd be so much they can do with little effort. All I need is one dev and a fourth time front end engineer. Yeah, I mean, this is what this is for, right? This little feedback tab. So like really what I should do, and I've submitted a couple things. I do need to add more. I really wish I could add pictures, because I do know usually someone from the Veve team like will email you and say, hey, can you like explain this to us or follow up? Like they'll usually follow up, and that's where you can like add pictures and stuff. But I would love to have folders or something like this so I can organize my collectibles better. I don't know, like all this stuff is awesome. I do know, like I would assume, you know, Veve's probably prioritizing like revenue generating things like, you know, the next collectible and animating this. And, you know, I'm not sure how much time they have, but I mean, they did fix the search function a bit. Maybe it was just because it was the number one most kind of complained about missing feature or something like that, or just not working as intended feature, then they started fixing it. But yeah, I mean, all these things would be nice. I mean, I would love for them to do it. Yes, search my mints, create my showcase. Candy has the showcases. Yeah, like, yeah, we should have a showcase. We need to have a wish list and a showcase button. Wish list is, you know, you could just save a collectible, you click on it, and you can either like look at it or go straight to the market. So that way, because that's what I did before with my wish list. I had a handful of different like collectibles and comics, and I would just look at those every single day, you know, just look at the floor price, see if there's like a unique mint, or maybe the floor price is a little bit lower, or, you know, whatever it is. So 2-digit pit droid for 155. Pit droid is a hyper grail, if you haven't heard. If you guys don't remember the pit droid. Look at, okay, so I will say I did misspell droid and it still pulled it up at the top. So maybe the search function is getting a bit better. If you misspell something, it's gotten better. 2-digit. All right, that's kind of cool. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think, you know, use the feedback function. I will say every single time I've submitted feedback, every single time I've had someone on their side, whether it's automated or it's probably a person that says like, hey, can you explain more? Or, you know, thanks for the feedback, whatever. I forgot we were still watching this video.
Business.
Yeah,
this thing has like 10 minutes left, a little bit less. I don't know if we're going to watch the entire thing.
About business, when we roll something out, we always do think about, you know, how can we give more utility around that? You know, when we first started in 2019,
I love utility.
It took a long time for a lot of these platform and regulations to be servicing and understanding, you know, what makes OMI a utility token. And we've seen how other projects have done it, and basically we're following suit. And you'll see more of that proactiveness now. We're very more clear on what we want to do with these OMI holders out there. And, you know, the most important thing is to bring that utility, what we promised on day one, and then we're starting to roll them out. And it will take time. And the other parts that, while I always thought about, you know, when people talk about the digital asset that's going through a bull run or a positive in the market figures, you know, I also wanted to understand that collectors really use their tokens to purchase something. I mean, you sing a lot of these news and memes around the guy who bought, you know, a piece of with the Bitcoin he has, and that ended up and turned out to be one of the most expensive Neo in history.
That's a very good point, because I even thought about this back in like 2021, 2022 when I first got an OMI. I'm like, wait, if OMI is supposed to be this thing that's like deflationary and it's like, you know, if Veve really pops off and becomes a household name, I'm like, wouldn't it do nothing but go up in price because it's like deflationary? It's like it's constantly burning, right? Or like, why would people ever like use it? You know, unless they absolutely have to sell their Omi or you know whatever it is in general, right? I mean, people are selling Omi now because they either think it's not going to go anywhere, or they'd rather buy something else, or literally buy a collectible or whatever. But that's a great point. So I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to remember what he says here.
So we wanted to ensure that the business continue to operate without taking a hit on it because people are not willing to part with their token. And you kind of have two parts of businesses that we are a collectible business at the same time as we want to create value for our holders out there. It is very important that we also have seen, you know, the royalty programs that we have run in the MCP play. We have the gold and silver logo holders. We have the level 100. We do understand, and we part of all these programs is to really understand, number one, you know, with our own IP, what we can bring to the community, you know, without.
Really quick, I was just finishing up the poll. It looks like the majority of people think there is going to be some sort of like fee involved with Omi to Gem. But I'm kind of curious. I wonder if Veve would ever do a reward structure around spending Omi. Like after you spend 1 million Omi on Veve or Stacker, whatever, probably Stacker, right? You do get airdrop something, or you do get like a huge MCP bonus or something like that, right? So that way it doesn't feel as bad spending your Omi, right? Because I do feel like I do feel like a lot of people like Randy and a lot of people that are like buying Omi in bulk, they're just like, oh, I'm not selling it till 2 pennies. I'm not selling it till, whatever the price they've dictated in their head or selling off. It's like, and I'm like, there's a certain point I'm like, all right, is anyone going to spend their Omi? Are they just going to hold it and hoard it until it like hits a certain point, or until, I mean, like what's the incentive to spend it? So I'm kind of curious if they're ever going to add any features or utility or any kind of reason to like, all right, if you do spend your Omi, here's a little bit of reward or a kickback or, whatever it is for actually spending your Omi. Because right now, with the Omi utility, it's like, all right, if you get rewarded for holding your Omi, you get rewarded for this and that. It's like, it's almost like there's too much incentive to just hold it rather than spend it. That was a bad pause tone on David's face.
With our own IP, what we can bring to the community, with our own tokens, what could we do and unlock those opportunity. And, with everything that we roll out, it takes time for us to gauge the interest and the redemption. Will someone want to give up all their MCP point for this collectible, and why do they do that? And why do people pay 500,000 points for a fantastic full comic edition or silver server in this case? Number one came out. So really gauging and understanding the community in every aspect, as a collector, as a digital asset believer, someone who loves tokens in every way. We're still learning through that. But now we have made that decision that, we need to roll these out sooner than later. So you'll see a lot more. And, in 2026, we're already registered to be at Paris NFT. You'll see a lot of us representing our brand, our product in these Web3 conferences. So I'm really excited to share all that with you guys. But it doesn't mean we're not going to, stay true to what the app is. We are a collector's app. We want collectors to be out there. We want that massive market. So, and we also do understand that a portion of our collectors who brought us to where we are, Omi holders. So we are there, and I'm very, very excited to share this update with you all, and hopefully you guys will forgive us for our slowness, but it is here.
Yeah, because as of right now, like their MCP points, I think they need to do more MCP drops. They're like, well, what do collectors want with their MCP? I'm like, I think a lot of people are perfectly happy using their MCP points for drops, but also if there was just an MCP store, right? I've said this before, it'd be awesome, like each quarter or each season that they drop, they just have a MCP store where there's a limited amount of collectibles at like 1 million MCP, then another one at 500,000, 250,000, like whatever it is. Because I do think whales, or just people in general, are sitting on a decent amount of MCP and they just have like nowhere to drop it, right? I think that's a big reason why the red metallic Spider-Man went for 150,000 MCP, right? which surprised a lot of people. I didn't think people were going to spend that much, but then again, I'm like, there really hasn't been a drop in the last like year that has really gotten people like, oh, I got to spend it. I got to spend MCP or else I'm just not going to get this, right? And I think the red metallic Spider-Man was like the very first one in a while. So, I mean, that's the reason that's what they do in like World of Warcraft. Like in a lot of these games, like when there's just so much gold in the economy, they typically just have like a store or like an in-game vendor where they're just like, all right, there's just a ton of gold. We're just going to have a mount be worth like 1 million gold, 2 million, 5 million. You know, it's like, yeah, it's only for the people that have the most amount of gold, but that's kind of the point, right? Is to kind of like get rid of some of that gold out of the circulating supply. And in this case, like MCP, it's infinite, right? That there's an unlimited amount. Everyone gets it every day. It's just, you know, it's like just passive income from just existing on Veve and having a collection. So, and also, I mean, buying a collectible, that's essentially, I mean, if you buy it straight up with MCP, that's essentially MCP to gem, right? Some people might, I mean, I'm sure there's a good amount of people that would just keep their MCP or keep the collectible they buy with MCP. But then again, like, I do think there's going to be a strong handful of people that if they did buy a collectible, they would just sell it for gems right away, you know, because how much MCP do I have? Let me look at my wallet really quick. Or I have to go to my profile. I don't even have that. I only get 850 or whatever a day. So I'm almost at 500,000 MCP. And I mean, I would, if I could convert half of that to, I don't even know how many gems, right? If I could convert half that to like 500 gems or something like that, like I might do it just because we haven't had a lot of MCP like worthy drops like recently, personally, at least in my opinion. So we'll see. So if the issue is like it feels like no one has a lot of things, or even just have some drops, I think it would be awesome if you could actually buy each season. There was like an MCP drop, but you can like gift it to other people, right? Like you can buy a collectible worth, you know, 10 or 20,000 or 50,000 MCP, but you can like gift it to someone else. You just type in the name of the person you want to gift it to, so that way, if a new user joins the platform, you could just gift them a collectible. I'm like, hey, you're new to the platform. Yeah, my name's Jason, whatever. I could just buy your first collectible. I could just basically gift you, quote unquote, a collectible just using MCP points that I already own and just gift it to you. And it would be kind of cool if there was like a little signature or something like that that says you were gifted by VV Vibes or whatever, you know, Pasternak or whatever. So I'm just spitballing ideas, but I do think there needs to be some sort of like MCP sync somewhere on the app on a consistent basis, because having like 1 or 2 drops a year that are worth MCP and then like another 1 or 2 drops that you have to be like Diamond 1 or higher to spend 1 million MCP, like that's just not enough in my opinion. Let me catch up with chat. Well, that was laggy. One of the Omi SR collectibles just doubled in price already. Yeah, that's because David, you mentioned earlier that there's going to be some sort of phygital. I think it's at Decon Vegas this year. I'm not too sure. Decon Vegas this year. Like if you own one of them, you'll get a phygital, right? Or like a physical collectible. Adam, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Can you set limit orders on specific price value of collectibles? You know, I really wish, but unfortunately, I think with Veve, they're really trying to position themselves as like a collecting platform. I remember a while ago, I'm like, it would be so cool if there was like a buy limit and sell limit, or there's almost like a buy and a sell side at any given time with a lot of the collectibles. And I think it would be treated like too much as like a marketplace. And I think Veve, it's not like Vive's like afraid of it or anything like that, but I think they want to position themselves as like a collectible platform than like, hey, that we're actively seeing this as like an investing or like a financial like type of platform or something like that, because there'd be a whole nother level of issues and stuff like that. So I think that's why they're trying to set up more like eBay, which is like, I really hope at some point, which reminds me, I really hope they do offers at some point, because right now, I mean, you go to the market, I'm just going to go to this random Buzz Lightyear collectible. Like Clever Jerk, he's flooring this 188 Buzz Lightyear secret rare for 75 gems or $75. I can't even offer him, 50 for it or 65. It's just I either buy it and that's it. Now with the in-chat feature they're going to add later, I can add him as a friend and we can chat and like negotiate a floor price, or if he has a different mint or whatever. But yeah, I think for a long time, I think to be honest, I think the number one reason is just like a tech issue, not issue, but just a tech limitation. Having like one side be buy orders and another side be like sell orders and something like that. But it would be nice because I will say a lot of the time with some collectibles, like the floor just absolutely just bottoms out and there's no like buy limit orders and anything like that to kind of like cushion it. There's a whole lot of collectibles that will sometimes like there's bad news or there's no airdrop or whatever it is, and the whole thing just completely just like bottoms out. So it would be a cool feature to add, but I think it's just a tech issue, or like a tech limitation, I should say. It would be cool. I mean, I would love it because I do feel like, you know, if there were buy limit orders and I could like set up a buy limit for 50 gems, like I'm willing to bet some of these might just say like, look, I'm tired of just constantly undercutting. I just want to sell this for 50, and I could just get it instantly for 50 gems rather than waiting for people to constantly undercut, waiting weeks or months. But I mean, I think the chat feature is going to help with some of that a little bit. But that's a good question, Adam. Pasternak, MCP store is an awesome idea. Yeah, I think so. Every month they need to have 1,500,000. Yeah, I think so too. Maybe not every month. That's a bit much. Maybe. I mean, if Veve can do that, awesome. But I think like either every quarter or even every 6 months or every season, however they set that up. I think each season would be cool. I think each season would be cool because like, let's say each season, as long as you buy one thing from the store, you get like a season badge, right? You get a season 12 or 13 badge or what. I don't even know what season we're on right now. What season are we on? I guess I'll click on this Buzz Lightyear. We're on season 10. Also, I think, in my opinion, like if we're trying to get like if Veve starts like really doubling down and starts trying to get us excited about seasons and like, oh, this season we're doing this and that, like I think it should just be like a big banner at the top or somewhere where like just on my profile, like if I just go to my profile, I should be able to easily see like what season we're on. The whole season thing, and like it doesn't affect the collectibles, it doesn't affect the drops, it doesn't affect the IPs or the price or the utility. It doesn't really affect anything. So the whole, I like the idea of seasons, but it's all just like very arbitrary right now. Like it just doesn't add or remove any value. I feel like it's just another number to like kind of forget about until they start making seasonal content or things to like, you know, get us excited about. Again, it's all feedback. Like that's the thing, is like Veve has like a lot of cool stuff they could just do. It's just, you know, again, development time, you know, is them making cool banners and all this stuff, is that going to be revenue generating for the platform? Maybe not right now, but in the future, maybe.
Fantastic. And
fantastic.
That sort of brings us to the next portion of the show, and that is 5 years.
Season is for their internal planning. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It just doesn't mean much to me. And like when they announce it on like YouTube, when they announce it on X or anything like that, I'm just like, okay, like we're on season 11. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I mean, I'm trying to remember if last time they did give some like teasers. Now with each new season, if they gave us some like teasers about like these are some IPs that we're going to drop or some new comics or, you know, whatever it is, or this season will focus more on villains, or this next season will focus more on, I don't even know, like cars or collecting. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Like they're going to focus more on collecting. Okay, like TCG cards, like things that like, okay, the majority of the drops this year are going to be like, all right, high-end collectors are going to definitely recognize these types of things. So it makes sense. It's like for internal use, but like, I don't know, for seasonal stuff, it just doesn't mean much to me. At least not yet. It could change.
Of business. Birthday's coming up. I mean,
what's up, 63?
Been through a lot, the two of you, starting this, and you've made it through all kinds of tumultuous times.
JKRB, yes, sir.
A lot of companies have come. A lot of companies have, you know, left at this point. How are you feeling? 5 years down, here we are.
Can you guys believe it's been 5 years since Veve started? At least been like doing drops and all that kind of stuff. That's pretty wild. And like even with the Buzz Lightyear drop that we talked about, I'm trying to remember who mentioned it earlier. I don't know if it was like Choo Choo or something like that, but someone mentioned earlier, they're like, I'm like, oh my God, dude, like that FA Buzz Lightyear was 3 years ago, like three years and like 2 months ago. I'm like, dude, that is, it feels like it was like a year and a half ago, maybe two. It's just time flies so quickly.
What's the general feeling?
Yeah, and so it's 5 years for Veve this year, and we're gonna celebrate Omi Ikomi for 7 year next year with a special
Yeah.
thing
I
as
think I'm
well.
at 3.5 technically, Gary.
You know,
Yeah, 4 is awesome.
What that 5 years seems like 20 years to start with. Everything in the world we are at 5x speed. Everything should be now happening now. We want that rollout now. We want more announcement now. We want more partnership. But the 5 year has been definitely, we've seen the highs and lows. Number one, going back, is I want to thank our community. Without you, we will not be here celebrating it with you. So we do want to mark this occasion, you know, and we decided that the Vegas Designer Con will be part of that celebration. So we've got a great lineup of things, and we're not just going to be celebrating in LA, Las Vegas. We're going to start with New York, right? Because a lot of people in the East Coast who is in Europe will be making that trip, and the entire Q4, our team here at Veve is going to be celebrating and really embracing that remarkable achievement. But behind the picture, you know, this.
I'm just gonna pause it here really quick. So someone mentioned earlier, like, oh, why did my Ikomi logo go up by so much? Right now, I was just looking at it on the side. Yeah, this Ikomi logo. So the secret rare Ikomi like Omi logo was 600 gems, like literally earlier today or yesterday. Now, oh damn, I went too far. Now it's like 1,200, right? Sorry, I had a thought and I didn't want to lose it, or I was looking up something. Yeah, now it's up to $2,000, which is why I think that's its all-time high, according to that thing. Yeah, right here. It says all-time high was a couple months ago, but it's at $2,000 right now, which is wild. It's all because David, you earlier said that you will get a phygital if you own like one of the logos. I don't know if that means you can own any of the three and you get the same physical, or based on which logo you own, you get a different physical. So if you own like the secret rare, you'll get like the most scarce one or the coolest one. I don't know, but and based on this, I mean, also based on what David is saying, it does sound like they're going to do some sort of like 5-year anniversary, either drop or phygital or something, maybe at the Decon convention. I'll just let him talk, but actually let me catch up with Chad and then we'll let him talk again. So what? Because now because they are sorry, we should forgive them. Out of all the money the Omi investors have lost, screw that. Yeah, dude, it sucks, Henry. I mean, I don't know what you want them to do. I mean, it's one of those, and same thing with like crypto. I mean, honestly, if Omi was at, let's say 0008 right now, I don't think people would be complaining. It's going to take a while, but as of right now, I think a lot of people are upset just because like Omi's low right now. It's at a low price and people are upset. They thought they're going to be advertising Omi more over the last like 2 to 3 years, but obviously with, you know, fortunately like Veve, you know, getting sued and a bunch of other stuff and dealing with all that and the uncertainty with the, you know, crypto economy and all that kind of stuff. So people were obviously upset about that, but I don't know, from what I've seen and when I've talked to other people that have been in crypto for a long time and just in general, even on Veve, people have done both for a long time. It's one of those things where it's like, that's why people want Veve to like jump through all these hoops and like burn this and burn that and like get rid of this and crap. Like they want to do like all these hoops just because it's like, all right, bull run is here. Like, why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't things pumping? Like people just want numbers to go up, both on Veve and Omi. Like, but I mean, once Omi goes up to, you know, half a penny, I do think there's going to be way less fudders. And once it goes up to 1 penny or whatever it is, there's going to be way less people fudding it because, you know, numbers are finally going up. So I understand the, you know, frustration, but this is the kind of risk you take when you invest in a like brand new technology, thing that's never been done before, you know, new founders and owners, like all new groundbreaking technology, IPs that have never been involved with this before, moving landscape, both government across like multiple dozens of countries. It's supposed to be like a worldwide platform. So they have to abide by all these like legislations and rules and stuff like that. They have to make sure not to piss off the licensors or promote a certain thing that's going to upset Disney or Star Wars or DC or whatever. So it's upsetting, but that's unfortunately the risk I mean, at least Veve and Omi is still here. You could have invested in a coin that just got completely went to zero, or you just got completely rug pulled. I understand the frustration, but Vivi's still here 5 years later. So it's upsetting, but it is what it is. I mean, this is the kind of risk you take when you invest in crypto or in these projects like very, very, very early on, right? We thought we were early in 2021, 2022. I mean, we were extremely early. I still think we're early, right? Like, look at the price of Omi, look at the price of a lot of these collectibles, right? Like that, unfortunately, that's just kind of the risk you take. Like, there's still some crypto I've invested in that I'm down like over 85%. Like, it is what it is, 90%. So thanks, Tucson. It's all right. I've never owned something that ends up getting huge news. Well, it could change, and it's hard, right? I mean, you probably have, but you just weren't like super early, right? You just didn't make the 1000x or the 100x that like everyone talks about on whatever. So you didn't lose unless you sold. Exactly. And when you invest in projects that are like this early and this like low resolution, like, yeah, things are going to happen, like leaders are going to fall off, or this thing happens in this country, or this scam happens, and this and that. So, but like Veve's still here. Like Veve is 99% of all the other NFT projects have gone away or rug pulled or gone MIA or whatever it is, right? Like Cryptoys has finally come back after 2 years of like disappearing. I know they were building and all that kind of stuff, but there's worse projects to invest into and worse tokens. Like, I will say, like, on paper, like, Veve has the golden goose. They have the IPs. They have all this stuff. The only thing that, like, kind of works against it, in my opinion, is, like, all the blockchain, like, maxis that are just like, well, it's not decentralized, and I can't pull it off the platform, and this and that. It's like, at least right now, no, you can't. But, I mean, everyone in the world has heard of Disney and Star Wars and Spider-Man and Superman and all these things. Like, that's kind of the trade-off. I mean, if you want to invest in Mutant Monkey, NFT, whatever, smoking a cigar, like, you can, but not everyone's going to be into that. They'll have to bring a lot of stuff. I feel like this Decon show should be a big booth, just like Tokidoki. Yeah, I hope they bring a booth, and if not, maybe they can save a little bit of money and put more money into like fidgetals or giveaways or events or whatever it is at Decon. I mean, it would be amazing if they had a booth, but if they don't, I mean, I'm not upset about it either. I'm mostly going there for the people anyway. It does sound like David, Dan, and a lot of people are going. I'll be going too. I still need to buy my ticket. I've just been kind of lazy about it. And I think there's like a discount on the website. At least for me, it was only like $120 like last year, or like 150 for like if you're going for like a 3-day pass. I do hope they announce somewhat soonish, because I think people are trying to buy tickets soon. Like, what days are going to happen? Like, all right, like, what days are they actually like giving away physicals? What days are they going to have like an event where they, like, if you're a Veve gold and silver logo, like, hey, show up to this event on Saturday night versus Friday or Sunday. Like, it would be kind of nice if we had some sort of schedule or itinerary for people to prepare like ahead of time. Because for me, it's not too bad. I mean, I could drive to Vegas in like 6 hours, or the five-ish hours, whatever. But for other people, yeah, they have to fly either out of the country or across the country to get here. And they want to know, okay, do I have to stay there for the 3 days, or can I just show up for, Friday and half a Saturday and fly out Saturday night and still get all the rewards and things I want to get out of it without spending too much money, right? Putting your crypto gains into Omi could be a play. Yeah, it could happen. Or into, digital collectibles, whatever it is. Trading cards means Pokemon, obviously. Yeah, trading cards obviously means Pokemon. Though I wouldn't mind, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering. I have a feeling it's going to be Flesh and Blood, because it is a New Zealand brand, and I think it is like a top 10 like card collecting game. Obviously, David is in the New Zealand area, so it only makes sense. I do think that's going to be the one personally, but we'll see. What I was saying is, I meant on Veve, like Omi logo news, my collectibles have not been My collectibles have not pumped up from BV News Team. Oh, okay. You mean like you owned a collectible and then like there was an announcement and like a logo or a certain thing pumped, right? Yeah, there's no way to prepare for that. I mean, going forward, I mean, the only ones that I've seen like pump consistently, it's just been like the VV Gold and Silver logo, right? A lot of the ones that are utility tied with the actual VV/OMI like IP directly, right? Occasionally, you know, you'll get like, are you talking about like even like the Coca-Cola, right? Like the 1980s like vending machine like pumped in price because there's like a craftable thing happening. Are you talking about that too? Let's see here. Wait, I forgot there's... This video has like 6 minutes left, so I'm going to catch up with chat and then we'll finish it. Friday's only for VIP tickets. Oh, okay. So is it? I don't know. I'll have to double check the tickets or whatever. Is it all day Friday or just like the morning of and like you could still show up like later Friday for it? It's Pokemon. Pokemon confirmed. Are you sure? Where's the... I'm not seeing on... Unless I see it on X or, you know, Twitter or whatever you want to call it. Unless it's on there officially, I don't take any of that seriously. I know you're trolling me, Tucson. Why always the logo get utility? But what about the Epico VV people drop? Oh, you mean like the Dan, David... Corey, Mike, like those ones. It's more tied with like the Epico game, I guess. I mean, they could do utility. I mean, why not if they really wanted to? Friday evening is the start. Okay, so if you want to like show up Friday evening, you can. All right, in that case, I would assume they would do any kind of giveaways or any kind of physical utility stuff probably like Friday, Sunday. I mean, those are the 2 days, right? For the thing. So all right, let's finish up this video.
Celebration is
let's rewind a couple.
Our team here at Veve is going to be celebrating and really embracing that remarkable achievement.
Celebrating, really embracing.
You know, this 5-year celebration it's you know, we went through the high and low, but the most important is we want other project and we want other digital collectible business to be celebrating as well. It's definitely been tough. I have to admit, myself and Dan, we were in the forefront. You know, when CryptoKitty came out, we grasped said we kind of understand, and we went out and approached with these IP owner. And it is really great to see what we envision other companies out there went out and get these IP and build a competitive product to what we do, because it really validates our vision that digital collectible is a medium, is an industry. So we're so happy to that, and we do want to see other projects to do well in years to come, because I think, you know, most people see us as we always competing or we have competitors, but and I say this many times, being in the retail industry and been selling trading card, role-playing books, collectibles, the industry will not exist with only one competitor or one product out there. You know, I'll give you an example. I went to the Chicago Nationals, and all the hype is about all the vintage products. It's all about the first rookie card for Shohei Ohtani, Michael Jordans. You got your old baseball player, the patch card, the signature, the triple logo card, the double design, and that the used jersey, the sticker, that everything, everyone in that room is all buzzing. You don't hear people talk down another company's product. And
that's true. Actually, I have that's why I want sports cards and all that kind of stuff on here too. But I actually have a friend who like recently got into like physical trading cards, like the last like few weeks, just doing a lot of research. I haven't done the research myself, but looking at like actually the price of like sports cards, even some like the old like Marvel cards from like the 90s and stuff like that, have actually like gone up in price more recently. Obviously I do think like the collecting, I know people are like rolling crypto profits into that, or just their stocks are doing well or whatever it is, or people are always collecting. But it does seem like people are even collecting the physical stuff even a bit more now. Like some of the last solds on certain like cards and stuff like that used to be like, $150, $200, and all of a sudden now there's like a $300 sale on like eBay or something like that at an auction. It's like, okay, like things are kind of moving up a bit. So yeah, like even some like the 90s like Marvel's cards and sports cards, things like that. So
You don't hear people.
so it's here. Collecting, all that stuff is, I think it is coming back.
And something in the digital world is that we really need to embrace and really understand, the true collectors out there is what's going to bring this community and their energy together. So I really hope that our community can help us spread the word and, continue to do what they do. That, some of the collectible that we release, it's turning 5 year old. It's the first appearance of these Batman, the first appearance of some of these Mickey Mouse characters that you beloved, that you grew up with. And in years to come, I really do believe that there will be a medium of people who just love to collect the first asset of these digital collectible on chain. Stay tuned. With all your support, I hope we have many more years to come. And that's from my heartfelt message to our audience, and I hope really you understand that. And I want Dan to speak a little bit about what's.
I was gonna say, I'm like, Dan hasn't really like said anything in the last like 25 minutes, so he's just kind of like
through this journey with me. That 5 year,
Sure.
of that 20 year. I still got my hair, so it's the good thing. Getting the right.
we need a hair NFT of David Yu or something like that.
So from being
and that's what I mean. I think Veve could easily get away with doing like quote unquote meme drops. Like I know Alex G isn't working anymore or whatever, but they could do like Chili Peppers, they could do David Deuce, like all these memes that are either internal or like community generated or whatever. That's been like a long, like just make it a drop and make it MCP, or I mean those are I feel like those things that they can add to the store just for fun, Doesn't mean anything. It's just like an inside joke. But if people want to pay gems or MCP, I mean, ideally, I think they should just add it to the MCP store, make it part of the seasonal thing or whatever it is. It's just fun. The green truck. Everyone talks about like the green truck and all that kind of stuff. Like it would be kind of cool, and it's almost like a cool story to tell, right? People are like, oh, what's up with the green truck? I'm sure at some point Veve's going to get rid of the green truck, right, for a cool animated thing or whatever. 5 years from now or year, whenever they decide to do it. But it'd just be kind of a cool thing to add to like that MCP store. David Yu's hair. I want to be able to put David Yu's hair on my avatar. I want to buy the collectible, be able to add it to my avatar. And then when there's like a U hair group or something like that, a chat group, it's like David Yu's hair, something fun like that. Let's finish up the video first. And I'll
being
go to
on
chat.
the floor as COO
There's like
for this whole journey. I mean, the changes that you've experienced in the last 5 years. Run us through it.
Yeah, I mean, it has been really, really exciting, nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing, celebratory. I mean, all the superlatives. But it's been a really, really amazing journey. And like I mentioned earlier, we've always been at the coalface, at the very front of this industry. And as David alluded to, it has paved the way for a lot of other businesses to follow in behind us. So, I think from my side, and just really proud of everyone in the team and everyone in our community for enjoying the product and seeing the vision of what we do. Like I was having a chat with somebody in the team the other day and just saying that, as a collector, like I know Veve is a fun collectible product. And I'm very, very confident that digital collecting is going to hit the mainstream over the coming years.
Dude, look at all this stuff. I never really looked at it. First off, the camera's like slowly panning in, which I'm like, dude, how long is this going to go for until he stops talking? But dude, he has so much stuff in the background. There's the Epico version of him like in the back right. I don't know if you could see that. But dude, he has so much stuff. I mean, I'm sure David, I'm sure literally has half a warehouse worth of stuff. But like, yeah, that's kind of a cool room. It looks like it's mostly independent artist stuff. Either he's been like gifted or he bought himself, or I'm sure as part of a lot of their partnerships, like, hey, can I get a I get a toy or a doll or whatever. Silver Surfer in the background looks sick. Transformer. Got Megatron in the background. Got a lot of cool ones.
So that digital collecting is going to hit the mainstream over the coming years. So, you know, if you have one of those first appearance Batman or first appearance anything on Veve.
First appearance. Just saying.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I'm sort of quietly stacking in the background.
I mean, I am all for scarcity, but first appearance, that's a tag you can't take away from collectibles. I'm still focusing on the ones that are like on the lower mints, and like obviously FA Iron Man, FA Wolverine, like all these FAs, Darth Vader, like they're all important and stuff like that. But I mean, I still have a few home run plays with like very scarce collectibles. Maybe we'll talk about it after the video. But
it's really been exciting just watching the product grow, the evolution of, you know, like I mentioned earlier, that first Batman Todd or the Risso from Batman.
I need to find his wallet. If I can quietly stacking in the background, yeah. I'm still trying to find like David Yu or his. I mean, it's going to be weird because they're probably airdrop themselves. You know how they get the first drops of any collectible, right? So it might probably not worthwhile, but to see like what they're buying and stuff. Just out of curiosity.
Man Series 1, when it was me back there in the 3D software doing my best to put it together to where it is now, which is just, you know, I would actually say that, you know, some of our collectibles now rival some of the physical stuff that is out there in terms of detail and quality. And I'm just really looking forward to the future. You know, like I want to make more collectors happy. I mean, even some of the stories that we've had with, you know, I remember this one guy at New York Comic Con. He'd never collected in his life, found Veve somehow, and then his entire family thought he had gone crazy because he just became obsessed with collecting. So he never knew he was a collector until he got the app, and it's just so rewarding hearing all of these stories. You know, because at the end of the day, collecting is about fun and it's about enjoyment. It's about collecting what you love. So yeah, I'm really excited for the 5th birthday. I think the reason we're doing Decon is because Decon was the very first event that Veve had, and David and I couldn't even make it. I don't even think we had enough money to go to the event, so it was just like a trestle table with a piece of cloth on it. So it's pretty amazing to think, you know, that's where we started, and you know where we're going to be now with at Decon and New York Comic Con, etc. So here's the next 5 years.
Absolutely, and there isn't a future 5 or 10 year plan. We're just getting started. There's all kinds of updates coming. There's no finish line that we see, so it is onwards and upwards always. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, after you see this video on the day this video goes live, it is going to be information.
Corey has a pretty sick headset. I'm kind of curious what headset that is.
Release, updates, gym restructures, Omi to gym, all kinds of things are happening. So please stay tuned to our socials, watch your emails, check out the blog. You see all the.
All right, that's pretty much the
socials
whole thing, right?
At the bottom
of
the screen. But with that, gentlemen, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Will Corey say it?
Until we see you in the next one, everyone. Happy collecting.
He said it. Happy collecting. He said the thing. All right, cool. All right, let me catch up with chat really quick. Eternity Chain is a digital collectible company that started around the same time as Veve. I remember the first drops they had were Muhammad Ali and Tony Hawk. That's actually really cool. I would definitely Tony Hawk. God, I remember growing up with playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater and watching him on X Games and all that stuff. Him and Travis Pastrana. I watched him. I actually went to the X Games where he did that like first double backflip and Santa Monica. That was really cool to watch. I remember I was in like the VIP section. My friend who was pretty well off, I think his dad owned a bunch of Taco Bells and then ended up winning this thing, and then he got tickets to go, and I guess his wife didn't want to go, so his friend took me, and it was a lot of fun. Side tangent. Yeah, it's cultural memes for 2025. Yeah, why not have David Yu's hair for one of the seasonal like MCP store things? Veve should do 1 to 6 surprise drops for people who are on the app at the right time per account. I think occasionally doing that is fine. I'm not the biggest fan. I think if it revolves around like an event, like I actually do kind of like the surprise drops at like San Diego Comic-Con. That was like a couple years back, right? Like or New York Comic-Con, that was pretty fun with like Lethal Protector. It was just like unannounced, like that's pretty fun. But I think if they just did it on like a random Tuesday at 4 a.m. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily fair because, like, a lot of time zone differences and people are going to be asleep. And it's like you miss out on, like, a 1 of 6 drop. And now that person gets rewarded heavily. Or it's, I don't know. I like the idea of it. But if it does revolve around, like, an event or something like that, I do think, in general, I do think they should do more, like, unannounced drops, especially airdrops, in my opinion. I don't know if I linked this already. But if you guys don't know about it here, I'll just throw it here. The video. Would you say, too bad you cannot put items on the wish list anymore? New app? Yeah, it's been like that for a while. I really wish they bring back the wish list. That'd be super helpful. Like I said, unfortunately, like I said, for a collecting platform, they've kind of removed or don't have a lot of features that would be beneficial for collectors, unfortunately. Quietly stacking in the background, yeah, I always said that. Is that even legal? I mean, he knows all the alpha. I doubt a lot of them are like stacking for like a future airdrop. Like he's gonna buy 40 SR Tobies because there's gonna be an airdrop in 6 months. Like I don't know, but. But I do know they have a limitation on how many collectibles they can buy and stuff. But Vibes, did you see the floor price of the Beskar ingots? Can you see if some of them sold? Yeah, let me check it out really quick. Beskar ingots. I remember I did sell I think I sold mine for like 35-ish gems or something like that a long time ago. The 13. No, none recently. There was a sale like 5 days ago. All right, there's been about 4 sold since the beginning of August. What's the floor price right now? $138. Yeah. I will say, you know what? I'm really curious about this. Can I just click on the IP thing? Whoa, what the? Yeah, the whole search function. I did not expect when they announced like, oh, the new search function is happening today. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be again. It's just tech, right? It's gonna get messed up. Something's gonna not work 100%. But my thought was, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last 2 Star Wars months we've had has had a craft element from a previous year's deal. So like I think like the Beskar that dropped this year, I would not be surprised if next year's Star Wars month there was some sort of craftable with the Beskar where you can like make a helmet or like a shoulder piece or a whatever, is going to come out about it. I'm just trying to see. I typed in Star Wars and I see Stay Puft Marshmallow. Maybe because it has STA. It's like, oh, maybe you meant Stay Puft or Stay instead of Star. Or am I wrong? Yeah, because this year you remember you had to burn like a Jawa, right? For the helmets, you had to like either burn like a Jawa, a Vader, or a Rancor, right? So like it seems like so far, I mean, it's only been 1 year, but I could have sworn there was another thing last year that you either had to like burn or use from a previous year's Star Wars thing to make, right? Veve fans, or let's do this. Actually got to turn down yeah, there we go. I had to turn down the music. I had to turn it up because of the video. I'm on Decon website now. You can only get Friday tickets with VIP pass. Event is located near Fremont Street. Discounted hotel. is Plaza Inn on website. Got me flights yesterday. Nice, dude. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be going. I just need to just kind of figure out the logistics. I don't know if I'm going to be staying with a friend or staying the night somewhere else. I'm kind of, I need to sync up with him first before I buy the tickets and like how long I'm going to stay. I would love to go all 3 days, but if he can only do one of the days, all right, I might have to stay at another place somewhere else. I'm just trying to get that figured out first. But I do want to go. Also, like, if Veve is only going to do like a physical giveaway like one of the 2 days, or if they're only going to be do something big like Sunday, like I mean that could affect it too as well. So one ton mon. What's up, dude? One ton mon. Dude, I've always loved saying your name. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we got a lot of big updates from Veve today. Search function's a little messed. Unsurprisingly, that's fine. As long as they eventually get it fixed, I'm not upset. But with the search function being messed up and no wish list, it's going to be a little rough to find things. I'm looking to accumulate again. Things are looking bullish. What are your thoughts on SR Star Wars #1 comic from 1970s? Is it worth the current 100 gem price? I mean, you have to remember with that one, can we even find it easily? There it is. All right, well, at least it did show up easily. Remember, I think this is the SR on the app that has the most amount of editions, because I think this one had what, 1977 SRs. Yeah, I don't think any other comic on the app has that many SRs. Even the pretty sure it has the most. I'm just looking up something on my other. Oh my gosh, dude. It's not. Yeah, it's not going to work. Green Gobbo, please work? No. Can I organize this by. No, I can't. All right. Yeah. Search. So. Amazing Spider-Man 14, that's Green Goblin. That has 70,000 comics total, or 70,000 mints total. I don't even think that one has that. I think that one has like 700 or 800 secret rares. So it's up to you. I mean, if you want to get it, it might go a bit lower, because there are a lot of them. Better yet, let's actually do this. No. Star Wars #1. Is this one like heavily stacked? Yeah. Dr. Prophet has 157 of them, which is wild. It does. Mint Junkie. All right, let's see the sales on it. There's someone selling it for $91 in Omi. All-time low was 60 gems. All right, it was at 60 gems for a while. Was it ever lower? 45 at one point. I will say, I think the all-time low for a lot of comics and collectibles, from what I'm seeing, happened either March or April of this year. Yeah, like March, April, May. Like those 3 months, that was like the all-time low for like a lot of different collectibles and comics I've noticed. Like that was honestly probably not financial advice, but the best time to buy stuff. Like whenever I look up a lot of stuff, like a lot of their all-time lows happened in those 3 months, like this year. So like at one point, I guess it was going for $45, but I mean, it's up to you, Wonton. If it's your last 100 gems, I would probably hold off. But I mean, if you have a huge stack of gems, I mean, you can go for it. You know, you can get one just to say you have one, put it in your collection, and be happy with that. Fremont is still packed these days while the strip is empty. Yeah, I've heard the strip has been empty. There's like way less people visiting there now because everything's gotten so expensive and all kinds of stuff. I've heard like international travel is like way down in Vegas these last couple of years, especially this year. Vibes, exciting Omi news today. Yeah, right? It's up like 3.5%. I think almost 4%. Let's see if it's still going up. I'm going to refresh it. Wow, it's actually up 6% right now. 6.2%. So yeah, I guess there's going to be like an Omi exclusive drop. I don't know if it's in person, but they mentioned like they're going to have some Omi exclusive drops happening on Stacker. When and where, or when and how much, people aren't sure, but challenge closed. That's actually a good call. I don't think I can look at the, oh no. I don't think I can see the challenge page on the PC website. Or no, I can, I guess. Who got top? Ultimate set holder. Mr. Rolex at the top with 3,700 sets. That is wild. I know they duplicate, but I only have 46 sets. I did have way more. I will say the last like 2 months, I just been doing a whole lot of selling. I've been trying to, I'll be honest, I probably should have done it, you know, over a year ago. Don't get me wrong, but there's still a lot of good collectibles at very near all-time lows. They're still for very cheap. Anybody on this? Anybody in here in the top 250? There's Pixel Trader 201. Just missed the top 200. I don't think there's any different. It seems like most of the time with these rewards, really only the top the top 5 are really rewarded. The top 10, or you know, from 6 to 10, they get, you know, obviously rewarded well. And then I feel like anything beyond that, it's mostly just like MCP and maybe maybe a random like common collectible or uncommon collectible or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Trying to see if there's any other names on here that I recognize or that like kind of pop out at me that are in this chat group right now. Planning on going to New York Comic Con in Vegas. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm not going to New York, but I am going to Vegas. It's also just, it's like a 5-hour drive for me, so it's not that big of a deal. I'll probably end up flying just to save myself the time and the gas and the pain, but we'll see how it pans out. Technically, Star Wars comic is FA, all OG characters. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, yeah, go for it. I'm just letting you know. There's a lot of mints to it. So, just bought a Ghost Rider. Been waiting on that one for a minute. Nice. The comic or the collectible? I'm assuming you mean the Danny Ketch. I can't believe I actually remembered his name. The Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Everyone says, why bother with the USA? Yeah. I'm sure it's for political reasons and amongst a bunch of other ones, but also just the general state of the economy. Everything's getting so expensive. You know, way less people are going out. Just in general, even just domestically here, like literally going out like bars, stuff like there's just less people going out and spending money. ASM comic $5 or ASM number 5. What about it? I will say I do want to do more of the search stuff, but the search feature is a little messed right now. Omi to Gem, yeah, that is a big one. We did a is that poll still up? We did a poll earlier because I mentioned earlier, I'm like, dude, I love the idea of Omi to Gem, but if they don't add a fee, I'm like, I'm not sure how much Omi to NFT is going to exist then, because like as a buyer, you're getting charged 2% to buy anything off of Stacker, which is something you don't have to deal with on Veve. You don't have to deal with a buyer fee like you do on Stacker, especially 2%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, if you buy a 1,000 gem or $1,000 collectible, that's an extra $20, which doesn't sound like a lot. But if you're buying a lot, if you're spending a lot, like 2% does add up. So I could be wrong, but I would assume there's going to be some sort of fee if you want to go from Omi to Gem. If not, then what's the point? Anyone that lists their stuff on Stacker, I would literally just use, funny enough, the in-game chat on Veve and just say, hey, I see your thing on Stacker, delist it, and I'll even buy it for 1% lower, you know, or whatever, to not deal with the price. Or hey, if you just list this on Veve, I'll just buy it with gems, then Omi. I don't know. Hamoon, what's up? Vibes, did you see the new details on the app when you press collectible details? Yeah, we looked at that earlier. I really like the way they set this up. Like let's look at Buzz Lightyear really quick. Like on the right here has everything broken down by like editions, details. This is kind of what I mentioned before. Like I said, I don't know if they watched my video that I posted, months ago, but I was like, it is so annoying. Have to like, if I want to find details or first public mint and like a lot of this important information, like I have to go dig up, a blog post from 6.5 months ago to find out like all this like information or a video about behind the scenes or this or that. I also like the fact too, it does say, I think I have to click on a collectible specifically to like get the MCP points per daily MCP points. It tells you like 1. I mean, this is a SE. Tells you how many were burned, how many are withheld, how many are sold, how many are remaining. I like all this. Carbon neutral. Delivery system. See, why is minted in parentheses? So, and that's another thing that's interesting that someone mentioned, like, it needs to be minted before it's delivered, and this can take time, but it'll arrive. Because, like, someone mentioned before that, like, technically minting is, like, it's weird. Like, technically the very first person that, like, gets the collectible, like, I feel like on other NFT platforms, like, if you're first, you get mint 1, right? Then 2, then 3. It counts, like, not chronologically, but just numerically in order. But on here, I mean, you can get mint 4,100, and you could be the very first person that buys a Buzz Lightyear, right? That gets it delivered, but it's a random number. So I don't know if it's more accurate to call these either mint numbers or series numbers. I don't think it matters too much. I think it's interchangeable. Maybe it's more of a deal on like other NFT platforms, but I don't know if there is a difference. I don't know. What do you guys think? Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider. Yeah, dude, if we ever get, is it Johnny Blaze? Yeah, that's like the OG 80s Ghost Rider. That's the one I want, personally. I know that's the one that I'd want to get. And if they drop one of those with like 400 editions or 500 or less, that would be really, really cool. The sick animation. Fun of the Sun. Hey, Vibes, what's up? What's going on? Did I miss anything? Oh, you missed a whole lot. We pretty much watched the last, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes of that Veve update video. We skipped the first like 15 minutes because it's mostly just covering, their experience at San Diego Comic-Con. If you want to check that out, you can. But I think a huge feature is going to be the in-game chat feature, or not in-game, the in-app chat feature, which I don't think is on the app yet, but that's going to be huge for, communicating to people to like, hey, if you lower this down to 5 gems instead of 6, I'll buy it. Or, making groups, right? If you're going to Buzz Lightyear group, whatever it is, you can make a group chat and everyone talks and this and that. Now, it could be easier to manipulate floors now, right? You can just make a Buzz Lightyear group and manipulate floors and have a bunch of people like undercut or whatever it is, but I think it's worthwhile. I really like the chat feature and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's going to be a lot of give and take. I mean, there's going to be positives and negatives about everything. But I think in general, it's an overwhelmingly positive thing. ASM1 floors, 5 gems. Yeah. I will say, okay, this is my personal, like, investing thing. Like, I love the OG comics like ASM 1, Fantastic Four 1, Fantastic Four 5, all these Marvel Comics 1, like all these ones. I love them all, but to me there's just like way too many mints. 60,000 mints, 50,000, 40, 30, 70,000 mints. I mean, that's just the Green Goblin one. And most of them, like I said, they're 5 gems. I think Marvel Comics is like hovering around 20. I think I have a couple of each, but at that point, it's like I'd rather just pick up 5 or 6 common, pretty high, like B-rated, like comics that have like 6,000 mints or less. Really try to lean into that scarcity thing. And like, again, like I have nothing against scarcity, but if something is first appearance and it's scarce, then like that's kind of the stuff I'm more focusing on. Now, I do think like every comic collector that joins the Veve app's going to want ASM1 and all these ones, right? Just percentage wise, like, yeah, ASM1 could go for 500 gems one day, right? Like the commons. but percentage wise, like rate of return, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the thing, right? And all these collectibles and comics are going to pump at different times, right? There could be a time where it's all ASM and Fantastic Four, or Amazing Fantasy, and then all of a sudden this other collectible or comic is going to pump a lot, then the profits on that are going to roll in. Because I feel like that's typically what happens when people sell something for profit on Veve. I mean, some people might cash out with it, then they just roll it into like Todd's or ASM ones or keep saying like Final Fantasy, Amazing Fantasy. Like, that's one thing I noticed last cycle is like when one collectible or comic like pumps a lot, like in that's like parabolic state, like a lot of people tend to like take those profits and then just like buy something else, and that pumps, they sell it and then buy something else. Like it seemed like all like the Todds and all that stuff like pumped first, and then they bought like all the like lower end like grails, and then they bought like the high end like blue chips, and then they bought like some of the beat, like it just kept on like rolling and rolling. So I feel like as long as you have some sort of plan for your collecting and selling or whatever you want to do, I don't think you can go wrong. As long as you're not stacking mass Tobies, I think you'll be fine. Details for comics brought from the green site still tend to send you back to that site and give zero details. Yeah, I think the website it's going to be messed up for the next day or so. Like they just did like a bunch of updates on it recently, so Veve's going to be a little wonky these next few days. Did you discuss upcoming drops? I'm excited about Coca-Cola. Not yet. I mean, there's not much to... I can sum it up in like 5 sentences. I don't really care much about the craft. I mean, I think that's cool, but I will say the commons, all the common bottles, it's going to be a bloodbath for all the common bottles. Because how many are there total? Oh my gosh, look at all these. Common. There's like what? Like 10,000 common bottles, or 10,000 bottles total. Like 9,300, whatever it was. I think it was VV fans in my Discord. He was nice enough to kind of break down the numbers. But overall, there's still a 93% chance you'll end up with a common, right? So if you want a special edition, you'll probably have to click the button at least 11 times, like just statistically, probably 11 times to get a special edition, right? So you've already invested 110 gems. There's already going to be a ton of people flooring their bottles for, you know, as much as they need to sell it, to click the button again, right? So again, I could be wrong, but I do think, like, assuming this like sells out, like I do think a lot of these common bottles are going to go for like 1 to 2 gems. And then the special editions, you know, again, maybe 100, less than 100, because it's not like some drops where there's only like, oh, there's only 90 special editions. Like this drop has like, I think 600 special editions total across all these bottles. Now there's some whales that could buy, there's some whales that might buy like 1 special edition bottle. I mean, I just don't see whales like buying 5 of each like special edition bottle or something like that. I don't know. I truly love the Coke stuff. Awesome. I'm not a huge Coca-Cola fan. I was going to say Coke fan, but just Coca-Cola fan, just anything in general. I would say like I'm a huge Coke fan. Just sounds weird. I'm a Gatorade guy, but I love Coke collectibles. All pop really nice. Yeah. I mean, I think I would say I probably... I'm trying to think if I grew up more on like Pepsi or Coke. I kind of use them like interchangeably. I think I had like a slight favor towards Pepsi, like growing up in general, or maybe that was just more easily available. But I can't remember the last time I drank a Pepsi. I've definitely drinking more Coke than Pepsi over the last like decade, I would say. Mostly just because like rum and Coke, or just most people in general just have Coke. I don't know. You guys see all the Chief of War watch parties? I don't know. Mission Impossible streaming tonight. Nice. See the casting for the new Rambo flick? No, not yet. I still need to go watch. A friend told me to go watch Superman, the new movie Superman. I heard some like mixed reviews about it. I guess it's supposed to be more akin to like the early comics. So there's like some scenes, I guess, that are kind of like silly or weird, but that's just kind of how like Superman was in like the 1940s, right? That's just like, or 1930s, whenever the comic came out. The commons are very cool. I agree. There's just going to be a lot of them. That's just the thing. I do think most of the people are just doing this for the chase, right? Also, we do have a secret rare bottle, which... $12,000, but I think that's including the commons. I think there's 270 of these or whatever. But someone, I might have to look at my Discord, but someone broke down the numbers. I mean, it's still the same thing. There's a 93% chance you'll get a common, and about a 7% chance you'll either get a special edition and the secret rare. And then the, vending machine, it's its own thing, and then the one of one, right? Is it on here? The one of one? Definitely cool to collect also. Yeah, I think so too. But I do think the undercutting is going to be brutal, because I think people are going to try and flip their comments for as fast as possible to, be able to click the button again, or just to get rid of it. It would be so funny if the big one goes in the first minute. It could happen. Yeah, it very well could happen. And then 9K left. Yeah, dude, that happens a lot on Fanable. I don't know if you guys are on the Fanable platform for comics and stuff, but sometimes that happens. Like, the top chaser just gets unboxed. Like, there'll be like 100, 150 comics, and like the top chaser will get unboxed within the first like 30 or 40. And then now you have, 100 to, 60 comics left. And, there's still valuable chasers, but the Grail one of the drop gets unboxed. The 2,000 or the $1,100 comic gets unboxed first. Now you're left with a bunch of comics, between like 200 to 400. That could happen. So you're not going to go for a few vibes? No, I'm not going to go for this one personally. I've just kind of, I have my drop strategy. It's a strategy I wish I kind of stuck to more closely a long time ago, but it's, I don't know, like when you start really crunching the numbers and, you see people post on Twitter like, oh, I got an SC or whatever. It's like, that's cool. But you don't see the other 9,000 people or 9,000, bottles that people bought. And now they're selling them for, an 85, 90% loss on the market. I mean, a big part of it too is just preserving what you have. And on top of that, I'm just, like, there's still so many. I would rather buy 50 gems worth of OG FA comics, collectibles, overlooked things than kind of just like roll the dice on some bottles. That's just me personally. You guys, like, Coca-Cola is huge. The bottles look sick. Maybe I'll buy a couple. And that's the other thing too. Like, I do like the bottles. Like, I might buy this one just because it reminds me of like a Nuka-Cola bottle. Like, I think this is like the design of like the Nuka-Cola, like Fallout, bottle style thing, kind of, right? So like, I might, or is that the special? No, this is the common. Like, I might buy this in the secondary for like 1 to 2 gems. I might do some market sniping and see if I can snipe some like low mints, or people might overlook the fact that they actually have a 1900 whatever. But like, I might do that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because over the last few months when I'm going back and I'm even like some of the more recent drops that I've like kind of gone for. I'm trying to think of like a semi-recent drop. Like even like Punisher. Like it's going for 15 gems. Remember, you had to buy Punisher for 20. Craft them 3 times for 7 gems each. That's 21 gems, so 41 gems total to get it up to here. Now it's 15. And I'm going back and I'm trying to sell some of these collectibles, and I'm just like, man, dude, when you add it all up, I'm just like, man, if I just had an extra 40 gems off this one collectible, and then extra 30 here, and then extra 20 there, and then an extra 70 there, and then I didn't even consider all the ones that I bought before, like 2023, because I mean, we just didn't, 2022, we just didn't know any better. So I kind of ignore all the ones that I bought for like 1,700 gems, and now they're worth like 70. But just in general, there's still so many good collectibles and comics on the app that I don't know. I'm kind of just done randomly gambling to chase like a one of one or whatever it is. I just don't have that kind of gems or money to like throw in the app. If I was throwing in $2,000 into Veve every other week, or even every month, and like, sure, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'll spend I'll click the button as many times as I can to like potentially get lucky, but that's just me. How much do you think the 1 of 1 will go for? I don't even know. I don't know. What would you guys do if you got the 1 of 1? I'm going to fly through chat really quick because I'm like really far behind. But I don't know. Would you guys take offers? Would you just put it up for auction and just see how much it sells for? Would you try to sell it like privately, like just contact all the whales, maybe even David Yu, and see like what you can get for it? Or would you rather just keep it? A few K, I think, for the 1 of 1. Tucson put it up for 100K. Yeah, why not? It's always better to start a little too high than too low. 7% worth it, YOLO, yeah. And that's the other thing too. Like every one you sell to, what's the fee on this? Yeah, 8.5% fee, which you know, it's like, oh, whatever. That's what I feel like. That's what like half the licensor. That's what like half the IPs are on. Most of the big IPs are 8.5% for the most part. But I feel like you're just getting double whammied there when you're just you buy it, you sell it for a loss, and there's even a bigger loss because now there's almost a 10% fee on top of that. So most exciting drop since FA15 or Miles. Yeah, I mean, I hope people do well. Like, I hope all of you get SEs. It's just not for me personally. And I hope one of you get the 1 of 1. I'm not a fan of the new Superman movie. I feel like Superman has to be a very serious character. Adding James Gunn's humor did not mesh well with it, in my opinion. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews. I'll watch it and I'll have my own opinion on it, but I think it's supposed to be a bit more akin to like the actual like OG Superman, like in the comics, where I think he was slightly more like quirky and maybe not as serious as he is more like modernly like represented. People are way too serious over superhero movies. Yeah, I mean, and also DC's always been the one that's like overly serious about you know, superheroes and stuff like that. I mean, I don't mind different takes on, especially like Superman, right? Like even look at Batman too, right? All the different variations and different styles like they've shown him, where he's like a bit more tech savvy, a bit more investigative, a bit more intuitive, and like kind of like really reading into people a bit more, just breaking bones and asking questions later. Like there's all these variations, you know. It really depends on the writer, or in this case now the director, but back then it was like the writer. Like even Superman, it was like there's some comics where he's like literally getting shot with kryptonite bullets and just walks it off. There's other times where, you know, there's a small little pebble in his hand and he just shrivels into like a 10-year-old, you know, child. He's just as weak, you know, or 5-year-old. So it really depends. If you want a serious movie, forget about people in capes and masks, superpowers. Yeah, exactly. That's where you go watch. I haven't seen it, but Peaky Blinders, I heard that's like a great show. That show sounds obviously a bit more serious. So Wizards and Orcs only get so serious. Huge IP and very nostalgic. What? Also curious vibes. What price do you think some of the SEs will be? That's going to be hard to tell. I mean, with these SEs, if it'll load, because first off, remember there's only so much like liquidity to like go around, or how much people are actually willing to invest in like Coca-Cola, right? So let's see, how many editions does this have? Rarity 99. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the SC. There's 270 of these. So I don't know, SCs could go for a bit more, but I mean, I feel like they're just gonna hover around like 100, 150, maybe a bit more, but again, it's like you still need to sell it to somebody. It's not like, I mean, they could have easily made this into like 3 different drops, but instead, you know, they kind of put it all together, right? And there's only so much money or so many gems to go around. Now, if there was 2 bottles, 2 commons, 2 SEs, still the craft, still the aluminum bottle, you know, they might reduce the mints on this to make it more scarce or whatever. But yeah, then I think like the SEs would, 200, 300 gems. But like, because there's so many, like there's 500 SEs in the market, and there's going to be 270 secret rares. So now we're up to what? I think technically it was like 650 total, like in circulation between the secret rare and the special editions and stuff. So like that's quite a few. It's not like Spidey 2099 where there was how many were there of that one? I have to double check. Drops. It's probably easier just to search it this way than to use the search function. I have to click on this. 299. All right, maybe there are more of these. No, that's the common. So secret rare, there's 299, and this one there's 99. So yeah, there's like 400 total on this drop. Yeah, I mean this one has like 50% more special editions and secret rares, and also just more editions in general. I don't know. We'll see. It's one of those things, like typically how I always did the math was like, all right, what are the chances of you getting it just mathematically, right? Like you're probably gonna have to click the button 11 times because you have a 93% chance of getting a common. So after you click the button 10, 11 times, like you should, quote unquote, get an SC. You've already invested 110 into it, and now you want to make profit. So you want to sell it for at least like 120. Like that's like the bare minimum in order to get profit, right? But there's a handful of people that got lucky and like they got it on their third try. So now they only invested 30 gems. Now they're willing to sell it for, 90 because they're still in the profit because they got it their third try. So you kind of have to take all that stuff into consideration. It's basically like all the people that got really lucky and are willing to sell it. The people that got it like within their first 5 tries, they're just like, yeah, I could still sell it for 70 and still make a profit. Like, I don't care. Like there could be quite a few of those people. Who knows? All right, I'm going to double time in chat. I'm way behind. Not me too on the flight scenes. Okay. Comic book implies not so serious stuff. Yeah. Crafting isn't very worth it in Veve. It probably would have been if you bought the vending machine like the week before it was announced, when it was going for like 3 gems. But yeah, now that the vending machine's up to like 16 gems, it's probably not worth it. Just my take. Yeah. 101 selling for highest bidder. Yeah, would you just put it up for auction and just let the highest bidder fight it out? I don't think I'd move from the 100K price. Nice. I will say it's the first like public one of one. I mean, technically all of... Where's the... Yeah, like technically all these are public, but I mean, you can't get it randomly, right? So it's like the first actual random blind box one of one, which is pretty big. I would like them to do that a bit more often. Superman was a hit. Yeah, I'm going to check it out here in the next few days. Facts about the Kryptonite stuff. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on like the writer. Peaky Blinders is good stuff. Yeah, Peaky Blinders top 3 show I've ever seen. Yeah, I haven't seen any of it, but I've heard great things about it. Yeah, I thought so. Also around 100. Yeah, I think it's all the people that get lucky and get it within their first, 5, 6, 7, whatever tries. Like those are the people that are going to be undercutting relentlessly because they're just like, I'm just doing this for profit, unless they absolutely love Coca-Cola, right? Unless they're all Tucson and they're all huge fans of Coca-Cola. Probably assuming most people are going to try and, sell it for gems, sooner rather than later. Coke bottles would be fun to play around with. Put one in Hulk's hand. That'd actually be pretty funny. It's like Coca-Cola, like Hulk's hands and a bunch of other characters. What do you think of the NFL cheerleaders? We'll see how it pans out. It's not up to me. It's up to the fans and ticket sales and all that stuff. I mean, as long as if the male cheerleaders are allowing, I mean, it's more like college and like high school, right? Where they use them as a base and they like flip and all that stuff. I mean, if they're doing like really, really cool professional level, like flips and all this like crazy stuff, like, all right, maybe, but I don't know. I've never been one to go to NFL games just to look at the cheerleaders. Like I never really cared. I was literally on the field for like half my life. The bottles are animated, are they? Well, I actually didn't mean to click there. Let me look up the Veve blog. I'm gonna pull it up here first on the right. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up here. Peaky Blinders movie soon? Yeah, let's hope so. So random, yeah, that's. See, that's what it means. Like, there's 116, but then X amount get like withheld, right? And then there's only like 99 in circulation or whatever. So that's what I mean. I'm like, there's gonna be 500 SEs plus the 270 secret rares. So it's one of those things where it's like technically you have a higher, like if you just click the button a bunch of times, like technically you have a higher chance of landing a SE. Doesn't matter what bottle, right? Like you have a higher chance of landing an SE, but there's still more special editions than there are, or not special editions, secret rares than there are like each individual special editions. Let me just look for the word animated. What? The Coke machine is animated, I believe. The Coke machine is animated, not the bottles. The Coke machine animation might be cool. I mean, if I really wanted one, I'm just going to wait a month in the secondary market and probably just buy this for like less than 10 gems. Maybe in like, I don't know. Because it costs, I think, 5 gems to craft, right? Any vending machine. Yeah, it's funny because yeah, it was going for 5 gems. Let's look at 6 months. These charts, they look all right. I mean, it's been below 7 gems for a while. I mean, it's been hovering around 7 gems for a while. Plus the 5, it's like 12. You know, people might try and sell these for like 15 in the secondary. I mean, again, unless you bought them way down here before the announcement. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see what this chart says about it. I'm always like trying to compare and contrast the like my NFT tracker chart against the stacker chart. Yeah, this has been hovering around 7 gems forever. There's a slight increase here, but that's probably just because of delistings and the like price flies up and people relist their stuff. Now, people might try and list the animated vending machine for like 15 just to like make a quick profit off of it, unless they like it, whatever. But I mean, it'll pull back. I mean, to be honest, most crafts like this haven't really held their value all that much. Sometimes they actually end up being just as cheap as the thing they used to craft it with. As long as they don't get rid of the female cheerleaders. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. As long as they don't get rid of the female cheerleaders. Near NFL skills. Yeah, near. Not quite. Imagine hitting that 1 of 1 vibes and selling it for 50k gems. Definitely cashing out. If I had that much, like if I made 50k off of one, I might cash out a little bit, but I would just buy a bunch of the cheap grails and like just dollar cost average, and then also keep a good chunk of gems like just ready on hand. But yeah, I would definitely just buy, yeah, like a couple waltz, handful of waltz, handful of Todds. Probably what's SR Spider-Man going for? You just grab all the grails just to say you have them. And those are the ones that are going to go up the most, right? Spider-Man. I think it's just Spider-Man. I saw a video on X of it. Oh, like the animated, like the bottles themselves being animated. Let's see if we can. You mean when Veve posted it? Oh, you know what? I see it here. I see it. You're right. You're right. Choo choo. Let me pull it up right here. Zoom in on the details from emboss script to signature silhouettes, texture. Okay, whatever. Empty bottle. I wonder if you just tap it. Like, I will say, if it does move as you're, if the like liquid's moving it as you're moving it, that would be sick. Like if you put it perfectly flat, you know, there'd be kind of the thin part of the top. But I think these are the animations. Like you just tap it and it'll just kind of move side to side. I mean, I could be wrong. That one doesn't seem to have an animation. Only a couple of them have an animation. I mean, I will say Veve's definitely stepped up their game when it comes to like quality of the drops, SEs, SRs, like the drop styles. Like more recently, they've done a better job, and they're definitely experimenting with a lot of different drop styles and mints and all kinds of stuff. But I like anime. I think animations, I mean, they do help the drop or like help the collectible itself, but I will say there's still a lot of collectibles that are high quality, FA, all that stuff, but yet they're still like well below retail. Like, I always use this one as an example. I think this one's one of the best animations on the app. One of them, like a top 10, right? Animation. This drop was 60 gems. It's going for 15. Even this Iron Man, which is, I think, probably the best, if not one of the best. You know, 60 gems. This one's going for 40, right? Yeah, 40. So I'm not thinking these bottles, because the bottles are 10 gems each, right? Like, the animation might help it a little bit, but animations alone usually aren't enough to save it. Like, even if it, like, I remember when this came out, people were stoked because it had like 3 different animations. You could shoot it constantly. It could fly. It could do, as 3 different poses, all this stuff. But, and there, you know, and there's 3,500 mints. Yeah, it's still like, you know, 2/3 of retail. Bro, cash out 20K. Book that. Yeah, I would definitely cash out a good chunk and put it into crypto and other stuff for sure. Maybe even getting like a new cheap car. What's good, Vibes? What's up, Hinano? I know we haven't talked a lot recently. Yeah, we'll have to hang out sometime. I do want to have guests on and start talking Star Trek and all that stuff. I still have not watched Picard. I've been busy watching Foundation recently. Great show. I've really enjoyed it. I just started watching. I know it's like in the middle of season 3 right now, but I've been trying to watch other sci-fi right now. I've really enjoyed Foundation. I haven't read Asimov's books or anything like that, but I really enjoyed it. I really hope Veve burns the unsold collectibles 30 days after the drop. Unless that happens, I'll focus on the comics. Yeah, comics are nice. I like big Grail collectibles. Like I said, I just bought my second Todd like earlier today for $350. And the comics, I do like the FA comics. Yeah, there's a handful of those I'm definitely focusing on. I just like the comics that are like 10,000 mints or less and that are FA for the most part. Your Foundation is incredible. Yes and no. I will say, if you haven't seen it yet, Tucson, season 1 is good. It's kind of weird. There's like 3 different stories that are kind of, there's a certain point where there's like almost like 3 different stories. There's like 3 different things going on. 2 of the stories are great. You almost always wanted to go back to the Empire, these 3 guys. I mean, they tell you this in the first like 10 minutes. Essentially, this guy like clones himself. There's like 3 different versions. Like you wanted to go back to that storyline. Me personally, like I'm like, dude, just go back to these people. These are, you know, the actors are amazing, all that stuff. And then it's almost like they try to throw in this like random romance and then some action scenes, which seems like pretty low budget, like early 2000s, like 1990s, like sci-fi. We're talking like UPN, like all that kind of stuff, or even some of the kind of semi-cringy what do you call it? I don't know, like just the early sci-fi like fights and stuff. I'm just like the choreography is like not great, and you know, again, you're having a 110-pound girl kicking the shit out of a guy that's like 220, all muscle. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna like necessarily happen. Other than that, it's great. I do like that a lot. It does get better. I will say it was season 2 and 3 for sure, but I've kind of heard that with a lot of like Asimov's books where there's like these huge stories where the stories back in the day were more focused on like the sheer scale and kind of like the morality and kind of the more science fiction aspect of it, and like less about like the individual characters and their backstory and how they play into it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would definitely check it out. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely watch it. I mean, you could. It's in the middle of season 3 right now. You could easily binge watch it for probably a few days or at least like a couple weeks. It does get better. I agree. Tucson, I do agree. It does get better. There's just one side story that I just every time it goes back to that story, you're just like, ugh, I don't care. But the other 2 stories that kind of happen, especially one, is like very, very good. There's like a handful of actors and actresses. You're just like, can't you just be on the screen the whole time? Like, do we have to do the side plot? But that's what develops the story and all that stuff. And some of the acting from some of the characters like isn't the best. But other than that, everything else surrounding it, I think it makes up for it personally. It's been a while, man. We should catch up soon. Getting ready for Peacemaker season 2. Peacemaker. I don't think I've heard of that one. Peacemaker. Oh, okay. Yeah, duh. Okay, that is funny. Yeah. That's the one with like John Cena and all that. Okay. I've seen a bunch of clips on it on like YouTube Shorts and stuff, but I haven't seen that show at all. So I'll have to check it out. Penguin's also a good show. I've heard that one too. D, we vibing. Yes, we are. Oh, I forgot to add these. Oh, that's a little weird off to the side like that. I've been meaning to, I still need to do this stuff for the Vibe Tribe members. I need to do like an intro, outro, all that stuff. So still need to figure out what D's favorite collectible is. If you do an animated collectible, it'll look cool like that. But if not, it's okay. Penguin's your favorite? I'm just kidding. It's not your favorite collectible. Foundation is on our list. Heard from several people that was really good. Yeah, especially now that it's in season 3. Now you can kind of just binge watch it. The first like episodes 1 and 2, great, of season 1. Episodes like 3, 4, maybe 5, you're going to be a little confused because there's a lot of time jumping going on between things. But I mean, after that, you can kind of piece things together and it makes a bit more sense. Kind of in the middle of season 1, that's where a little bit more kind of like time jumping, because it's again, because like the sheer scale, this is taking place over like hundreds and hundreds of years, so it can be a little tough to follow. I'm watching all this foreign stuff on Netflix, like Korean stuff, or just like what do you? I use a variation of different sites. I'm keeping up with like at one point I was paying for like 4 or 5 different like viewing subscriptions, and I found out I was only like using 2 consistently, and like the other 3 I only used for like literally 1 show, and like 2 of them I didn't even like, and I stopped watching, and I still kept paying for it like 6 months later. So I was like, all right, I'll just stop altogether. Marianne, Under a Dark Sun, Undercover, okay. Or are those the foreign shows you're watching? I've heard great stuff about foreign films too. I have a friend, and his wife like always recommends, or like every time I visit him, she's always watching some like Korean show or some other thing, and like sometimes they seem interesting, and sometimes I'm just like, what am I watching? Smoke, okay. On Prime. Butterfly's good. Takes place in Korea. Okay, nice. Some chill vibes happening right now. If you guys can hear the music, I'll turn it up a little bit more. See if there's any deals on the market. Dude, this common Buzz Lightyear, $1.50. How many other are these? Total edition. So, and this is kind of what I'm going based off of. It's like Buzz Lightyear, there's 2,000 editions, right? Total editions. So there's 2,000 of these, right? This is 20 gems. And people are listing this for 1.5 gems. So we're talking above a 90%. Like 92%, whatever that percentage is. Like, because 90% is 2 gems. So it's even lower than that. So it's at like 92.5% down. So my thought process is like, if Buzz Lightyear's at $1.50, what are Coke bottles going for? Not fudding it. I'm just trying to keep it realistic. Like, you're going to get a lot of comments, and, you know, you and 2,000 other people are also going to get a comment of that same bottle, let alone the other 5 variations or whatever. So I watch everything just about except superhero stuff and Star Wars. Yeah. I still have yet to watch, what's the Star Wars one that like everyone says is really good? God, I forgot the name of it. Andor. A lot of people said Andor is good. I haven't watched it yet, but I've actually heard good stuff about Andor. That is one I am curious about. Is Andor. Oh yeah, the new Star Trek one, Academy. I don't think that one's not coming out till later this year, right? Or next year? I just hope it's more Brave New World and less Discovery, personally. I just hope it's more in that direction than the other. I stopped watching Discovery, I think, towards the end of like season 2, just because I got busy and like it wasn't appealing to me like too much. And I don't know. I kind of like it, Star Trek, a bit more when it's focused on the crew rather than a very, very small just like basically like 1 or 2 people. That's just me. I kind of like the more classic Star Trek. People better off just keeping the comments, even if it's still pushing the button. Yeah, probably. You know, Vibes, I want a... You know, Vibes, I want a SR 2-digit comic in Spaces. Final Fantastic Four #2. Awesome. Oh, like a giveaway? Dude, some of the giveaways are legit. Doctor Strange said he won a SR something too, like an SR comic from my like giveaway thing. I need to reach out to MC or just Veve in general a bit more about like doing giveaways. Because I feel like I never do them, but I need to like make sure I'm like okay to like do a giveaway. I can't just like randomly announce I'm doing a giveaway. Academy looks terrible. Yeah, I'm not. The only reason I would even entertain the idea of watching it is because they have the Doctor from Voyager on there. I'm not a huge fan of like the Captain and all that stuff, and I don't know. We'll see. If not, I could just watch the YouTube videos that do reviews, and those are usually hilarious. There's a handful of content creators that do reviews of bad shows that are hilarious, and so usually I just experience the show through that way. So I'm 3/4 through season 1 of Andor. I hear it gets better. Was the first like 3/4 of it not very good? Academy is based in the Discovery timeline. Oh, I'm skipping that drop like I'm skipping the Coke bottle drop. You should get some for giveaways, Vibe. Yeah, I need to hit up MC or Veve. I just need to ask them like, hey, like, am I okay to do a giveaway for like every stream or like some videos or what? Because I know Doctor Strange does pretty much a giveaway like every video he does, and he does, you know, a couple videos a week. And then I don't know if I've ever seen Randy do giveaways. I've seen Informant, yeah, do giveaway almost most streams, not every stream, but most streams. I think almost every stream he does. As long as he's covering a drop, he can do a giveaway. So I just need to double check with him to be like, hey, if I'm gonna stream every so often, can I just do a giveaway every time? Because I mean, I do want to give you guys some cool stuff. I mean, I like to hang out, but I'll do the giveaway at the very end of the stream and just hold everyone hostage. Just keep me running in the background. Or just have me be your favorite second stream or second monitor streamer. Let's look at the comics. See what's going on here. SR8750, there it is. There's Doctor Strange. What's up? Yeah, so yeah, you can still get some legit stuff with for the giveaways. It's not like they're just tossing you 2 gem comments or whatever. You might. I mean, regardless, it's free. And so far, this is like my very close friend would say, there's not enough females in armies. He usually says other stuff, but there's not enough women in armies. Like unless if there's he hates the shows when they talk about armies. Like I have this army that's gonna crush. He's like quit talking about the armies. Like where are the armies? Like he was like the first Dune movie. He didn't like all that much because he's like they keep talking about these armies. Like where are they? Like I want to see them fight. And of course the second movie comes out. He loves it, but he's like I want to see the fighting. Like quit talking about armies. Where's the CGI budget? That's where he wants to. That's what he wants. Vivi supported giveaway on my last episode of SOS Fantastic Four number 6 is about to close. Good luck. Yeah, go check out Doctor Strange's recent video on that. You know what? Let me see. Oh my god, I have a huge list of people I'm following. I'll do it for you guys. There it is. If you guys want to enter in a giveaway, click that link, go to Doctor Strange's video, comment on it. I don't know if the giveaway's done, but regardless, click that link and check out the video if you want to enter a giveaway and check out his opinion on Fantastic Four number 6. The one that who cares? It already dropped, but whatever. Don't say I didn't do anything for you guys. I hear season 2 of Andor is good. Okay, I need to make a list of shows. Sometimes I hear about a show and I want to watch it, and then I either lose interest, I either completely forget about it, or I just get busy watching something else. So, but yeah, if you guys have if you have not watched Foundation, it is very good. If you like sci-fi, if you like kind of Games of Thrones-ish stuff, you know, there's a lot of different characters and time jumping and stuff going on. You like sci-fi, you'll like Foundation. If you don't like sci-fi like at all, I think you can maybe still enjoy it, but you'll definitely enjoy it way less. So it was, yes sir. I keep going back to season 3 of Picard, best trek ever. You have an awesome adventure with the ship and familiar crew. Yeah, I have heard good reviews about it. I just need to quit being lazy and watch it again. I just been binge watching Foundation for the last like 2 weeks. Like some nights I'll just watch like 3 episodes, like 4 or 5 episodes in a row. And even then that's like half a season. So yeah, keep the giveaway till the end, dude. Why not? Everyone does. Maybe I need to do that. If I do get do a giveaway, keep them hostage, get the view count up, the retention. If I was consistently doing giveaways, yeah, I would do it. Or at least well an hour into my stream. I'm not gonna give you guys the dessert up front. I make my own ice cream. It's okay. Like the Gilded Age, yeah. There you go. That's what I mean. Disney's the one channel I could probably ditch, yeah. No Ben and Jerry. Leave a comment on your favorite cover, yeah. Usually it's, for me personally, it's usually the like ultra rare or the common. Sometimes if the sketch art is like very good, I'll like the rare. Sometimes the SR. I will say, oh yeah, I meant to mention this. This is, I think, another meme-worthy cover. I almost made a meme the other day of like Doctor Doom is like Veve and I'm Namor. Is it Namor? Or what they call him? Mariner. I think early on they call him like Mariner. Like whispering in your ear, like buy the drop, click the buy button, like keep doing it. I feel like if you just remove, I can easily crop this, the Fantastic Four, but I feel like this is a very meme-worthy template of like Veve or just someone just whispering in your ear to click the buy button. Just click the buy one more time. You bought 15 bottles and you still don't have an SE or an SR. Just one more bottle. Just click one more time. Prince Namor or Submariner. Okay, Submariner. You're right. Yeah, Submariner. So they're okay, talking ice cream. I like it. Everyone everywhere does the giveaway at the end. Yeah, maybe I'll do mine 60% of the way through. I won't blue ball you till like the very end, but I want to make sure you're here at least, you know, halfway into the stream or, you know, whatever. Do the giveaway after 50 likes. There we go. I like that. Yeah, that's what BE does. I need to do that, dude. I need to learn his ways. It's like join my Discord, get into my paid group, retweet my post, at 4 other people, tell your best friend, get on your alt account, also watch my stream, and I get up to 50 likes, and then I'll do the giveaway. And then I'll have BB randomly give away one comic to you guys. I feel like that's just that's the best way to do it, right? I feel like that the comic is someone on the feed trying to sell his overpriced item. I feel like that comic is someone on the feed. Yeah. It's worth 400 gems. Like, no, it's not. But yeah, I feel like this is a very meme-worthy template. I'll have to maybe turn this into a meme or something like that. Because it feels like he's just trying to like whisper something in his ear. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, whatever you're trying to convince me to do, like, I'm not going to do it. And then we're being a random feed reader who thinks, what the fuck? Yeah, pretty much. Want to buy my SR for... It's mint 187 for 800 gems. Are you sure? Like, I can't even afford that. Dude, I really wish I had the Veve feed on the PC website. Once in a great while, if I am bored, I'll just look at the Veve feed on the app and just... Most of the stuff is wholesome, but sometimes you just get some like crazy comments or people are just saying ridiculous stuff. But yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream here in a little bit. We've been streaming for 3 hours. Has it been that long? Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, Choo Choo became a member 3 hours ago. Jeez. Originally, I was only going to do it for like 2 hours. I was like, all right, maybe I'll do 2 hours to like 5 o'clock. That's when Randy starts the stream and, you know, whatever else. But, no, we've been holding it down. 21 people watching. That's legit. Awesome. I don't know. Like, I mean, I do want to do a video. I might do a video talking about the Coca-Cola drop. Because when does the Coca-Cola drop happen? 23rd. That's not for another 5 days. Yeah, I'll probably do a video basically just explaining what I told you guys. And I'll probably ask Veve too if I can, or MC if I can do a giveaway on that video too. Because in my opinion, I think the commons is just going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a race to like 1 to 2 gems, right? Because everyone's going to try and just flip out of it as fast as they get it. SEs might hover around 90. Because I mean, a lot of people are starved for gems just in general. I do think there's going to be a handful of people that will click the button until they get an SE, and if they get lucky, they get it after 5 clicks. They're going to sell their bottle for 80 or 90, whatever it is, right? And plus, there is 500 SEs across all bottles, and then another 270 or 250 SRs. Like I said, like if I know Buzz Lightyear's not FA, but like there's 2,000 comments, and I'm like, and it was 20 gems. I'm like, people are flooring those for like $1.50. you know, 1.5 gems. I'm like, all right, well then what's a $10 bottle gonna go for? Even if it does do a little bit of splishy splashy, we'll see. But I mean, I will say, if you do get lucky and you get like an SE early, obviously the 1 of 1 is going to be the dream. But yeah, if you do get lucky and you get like an SR or an SE, or if you even get lucky with just a unique mint, like a low mint bottle or unique mint bottle, you could get lucky with that too. I could help. Hamoon, W stream vibes. Yeah, thanks. Remember when we did giveaways on streams? Good old days? Yeah, dude. Yeah, SR Omi logo? Yeah, because David, you talked about some fidgetal thing with Omi logos. So yeah, it pretty much like more than doubled in price. I think it tripled in price. It was at like 600, then it ran up to $2,000. But we'll see. We'll see if people want to keep it at $2,000 all the way up until DCon in Vegas. I mean, if nobody lists new logos for the next 3-4 months, then yeah, I can maybe hold. We will see. But yeah, I remember the days of the giveaways. Someone I remember gave me an MC or a Marvel Comics #1 comic. And I mean, remember back in the day, that was like hundreds of gems back in the day. And I remember they gifted it to me and I'm like, whoa. And I asked them, I'm like, you're going to give this away, right? And they're like, no, you can just keep it. I'm like, oh, sick. I still have it. I think pretty much everything gifted to me, I pretty much kept for the most part. Because why not? It's a gift. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a good one. And I'll catch you guys next time. Please double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over. And I'll